Everybody all right? Yeah. I guess when everybody in their own world, they're in their own world. They're doing their thing, ain't that right? Time to do your Yahuwah thing now. Make sure we get this thing right. As y'all can see, y'all can cut the air down a little bit though. My thing, yeah, it's blooming. Yeah, they were kicking over there. Yeah, I felt it out there. I seen the several out there fighting. I don't know, menopause, old lady. I seen all kind of stuff going on. Yeah, I'm falling. It be happening. I know my white hair. She kick all the cover out there. I said, yeah, that menopause. Menopause wake me up at night. Then she be wrapped up. I cut the air conditioner down, nothing. Then she wrapped up for her life. Then menopause kick again. I drop it again. Thermostat, I can't go no lower now. And that right, put some ice cubes on. How many of y'all got menopause done kicked in? 1, 2. How you got menopause? I don't know what she got going on. She has a mental pause. She got that mental stop. Her mind will be going and it just stop. Yeah, I tell you, it'll happen till you keep living. Anyway, it's too to be alive by the economist Yahuwah. One more chance to give us to be on this side to get it right. You know, with everything going on, it's definitely a time people ought to consider. Yeah, I see in China, they cutting the food with Taiwan, just shooting. Again, you see all these people do a lot of bluffing and can't do none of what they say. And black folks still scared of them. We scared of every time an Asian pick up a pair of stick, we nut up. All of them know karate. They forgot Bruce Lee dead. And that Bolo about to die. You know, everybody done scared the so-called Negro. Oh, the so-called Negro, he been scared by everybody. I'll be honest, we scared of everybody. We scared of everybody white. We scared of everybody Asian. We scared of now all the Hispanic, and none of them tall enough. You got all these folk we scared of. We the biggest giant folk walking on the earth. We scared of everybody now. They don't worry. It's gotten terrible. Stuff that's going on now is worse than it was in the 60s. Back then, if they would have just shot unarmed people like that, them folk were going to war. They were going to the street for it. That us, you know, if a movie come out or if they got a new song coming out or a new dance, we got to go to the club. Those folks actually bonded together a lot better than what we do now. People did have the courtesy of self-respect. They would speak to one another. People would, do just the normal human thing. Ain't nothing extra, just the normal human thing. You needed some help, somebody could help you. Woman getting on the bus, she got her babies on a stroller, somebody help her get the stroller. Either bus driver come on, help her put it up on the bus. I mean, lady, what you gonna do? These niggas, grown niggas sitting there, hey, my effing problem, just lay back. And that's why the generation so much, the kids ain't got nothing to pattern. When I was a little kid, the first thing I want to do was to be grown. Because you know what grown folk got to do, but grown folk ain't worth a flying flip. Please, I tell you young folk, don't put your eyes on grown people, you'll lose it. Grown people doing what kids doing. Grown man got his boot out of his pants. Homosexual. That's exactly. That don't mean he has sex at his house. He's homosexual. Isn't that right? That's what they think. They say stuff that sound cute. The homosexual have sex in the bushes. Well, that Piedmont Park got messed up. That Piedmont Park was a nice family park. Oh, man, you go to Piedmont. Just nice. On Sunday, you go to Piedmont Park, it was just packed, just full of folk, just family, just folk just out there doing that. Man, I went down there years ago. I had a guy, we met, and I was showing him Atlanta from Kentucky, man, another apartment. We took him. I said, man, show him Atlanta. We took him down to Piedmont Park during the week. We were walking out there and everything, had some weed, just walking down through there. We see these three big niggas walk past, like that, you speak, keep going. Some said, look behind you. I turned around and looked, they were running, they were chasing each other, trying to grab each other's booty. We're trying to figure out, I was like, the oddest thing, because this in the 90s, this like 92. It was odd, I ain't never seen no stuff like that. These jokers were big jokers, they were chasing each other for the booty. You trying to figure out, what the play wrong with them? So we went on, we sit on the table, we sit on the picnic table, we smoking weed, we still smoking. You seen a bunch of them just laying out there in the grass. Women, we're like, man, we like, all them women laying out there in bikinis, ain't no shirts on. All them niggas with Speedo, no shirt laying out there. Cause we looking at all this is titty land. We said smoke, we said, like, I ain't never seen, we looking like, them niggas. Like, man, what is going on? Never seen, because we always went on Sunday, had never been during the week. Police riding on horses. They went down there through the little cut coming out. You see them niggas coming out there pulling their pants up. We were like, they were down there having sex. We were like, man, I gotta get out of here. Somebody said, man, do the week, man, it's a gay park. We're like, are you serious? This Piedmont Park. Sunday was like, who from Atlanta? Do you not remember Piedmont Park? You remember Piedmont Park being a gay park? Never know nothing about no gay park. Hold on, that cat looking like. What you know about Piedmont Park? You're not from that side of town. He went to Walker High School. He don't know. Hold on for a minute. What year you remember Piedmont Park was a gay park? What year you remember this? In the 70s. That cat, how old you was in the 70s? How old were you in the 70s? You were both of them in the 70s. That's pretty old. You're a pretty old joker. You know, you getting some double Social Security. You were grown in the 70s? Because you a grown man in the 70s, you was a grown man. I ain't remember 50 years ago, over 50 years ago. God almighty. Because I ain't never heard that. Carrie we got now. Hold on for a minute. Come on, Carrie. Come on, Carrie. Come on for a minute. Come on, huh? This man here is Atlanta historian. Now we not. That's what I'm saying. That cat, we don't want no trouble with you, that cat. Now the man is Atlanta historian. He gonna know. Do you know anything about this in the 70s? Atlanta, Piedmont Park, Family Park was a gay park.
Remember we had a Great American Smoke out down
there. That's what I'm talking about. Go down there and smoke when they had the weed in here. Hold on, stop. Hold on, we got some. Hold on, stop. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Hold on.
Man, Miami.
Outside agitator. Where's security at? Where's security? One of them broke in. One of them broke in here.
Y'all the same.
Sir, where you come from, sir? Sir, where did you come from? No, we didn't have no game. No, we didn't have.
You know, a lot of people don't even know it's a little lake in there.
That's right. That's right. No lake. That's right. You could baptize. We clean it now. I'm telling you, trouble. And you from Georgia? Ain't you from Georgia? Born in Georgia? What are you doing causing all that problem?
He from Georgia.
You finna be an outside agitator. I'm on that Marston out there. Off of Chester Bridge. Off of Chester Bridge, I think it was. That Marston cafeteria right now. He done did too much. That's what he done mixed us up. You done mixed that up with some other place he been to. Yeah, that doesn't happen. And he done messed up, and then he done messed up this fella here.
That cat from Alabama.
He from Alabama. He sure is. We done looking at him. Yeah, I remember that. He's not from him. Me and he a kid from him, but no, he's not from him. I'm a kid. You ain't from him, like that. And you a troublemaker. I'm with you.
I don't know what they talking about. I don't.
Both from that trouble. That was family time. Who used to go there? Who from around here? Who remember around him? Do you remember sitting down there at Piedmont Park? You do what? Man, you sick.
Man, we was stinking like them Lakers of Piedmont.
So was stinking. Hold on. When you say stinking, hold on. What you mean stinking? Like that's like rap. Yeah, not. Cause we want to good mall. Good, yeah, stinking like a Lincoln.
That Big Gilp.
Big Gilp. You know what that is? Who is Big Gilp?
Big Good Mall. It's a rap group.
Yeah, Big Gilp.
They're pioneering rap group.
Pioneers. That's right. That's what they was too.
They from Atlanta.
From Atlanta too. Better tell them. MC Sade, right here.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And that right. Yeah, all of them from here. That's everybody from here. We got him. We ain't had no sisters down here like that. Now, do you remember sisters at Piedmont Park back then? Okay, nobody asked you nothing.
Oh no, she
some folks, your name came by mistake. Daniel, do you remember sisters? That was something. Daniel don't remember it.
She a sadistic kid.
Ivan from right here, Ivan. This what we'll do. This is sell it. So we'll be straight. We got two outsiders saying they from Atlanta fighting. We got two original. We graded, baby. Was you born at Graded? That's all I asked. Yeah. What'd you? No, they ain't even had no hospital. Yeah, that's hold on. When Dr. King was there, was it like that when Dr. King was there? It wasn't like that when Dr. King was there. Ivan came out 2 years after Dr. King. It was straight then. That right there. This is what we'll do to end it. So cause me and you don't remember none of this.
Nope.
And there's two of them against two of us. I don't remember that. We don't remember none of this. Okay? Now, so what we gonna do to settle it now? So it's 2 and 2. Yeah. Two honest guys.
That's right.
And them other guy, and them two fellas. And them two trouble, them outside agitators.
Yep. Exactly.
Ivan, this is what we do. I don't even want to look. We'll let the audience be the judge. So Ivan, can you hear me, Ivan? All right, it's taking a little while. All right, Ivan, do you remember Sissies now at Piedmont Park in the 1970s? That's all we need. That's all we need. Give us a handcuff. We've been vindicated. That's all we need. That's all. Did y'all see me persuade the man? I asked the man a simple question.
At the mouth of
Three witnesses.
Three
witnesses. Okay, we ain't got nothing to do with that, Lancaster. Go talk to the man parent, Lancaster. We got nothing to do with it. Why they fighting us?
You can ask Smith.
Smith remember too. Smith remember. Cam from Georgia. Cam, you remember that? Cam said he ain't never heard either. You know, Cam know. Cam be rapping. There they go, that bull. Y'all don't know the good and well. Atlanta was clean. We had two sissies that came through Atlanta. Two of them. One of them fell out of a truck coming through by way of Alabama by accident. The other one, they never found it. Might have been South Carolina. So anyway, he fell out the truck. So that went out. And the other one had never been with a man before, had been with all women. So we can't use that. That's the only two we ever found in Atlanta. So what we gonna do? We gotta go with the record. Y'all gonna fight the record? Ain't y'all talking? Hold on, what Malcolm? Malcolm from Atlanta. Malcolm.
I don't know what they from.
There go Malcolm, University of Georgia.
I don't know what y'all.
Yeah, right. Herschel Walker classmate, he might run with Senate with Herschel Walker. All right, Malcolm, you remember Piedmont Park? Okay, and I trust you, Malcolm. Malcolm, I trust you. Yeah, man. Now, who threatened? No, he threatened. He just talking with no. He did not threaten him.
I just brought outside.
No, just brought us
old school like Charles.
That's right.
Disco.
That's right. I'm saying, you want Charles Disco? That's right. That was my club. He remember that. He remember that. So Malcolm, and what we do, we don't want no persuade. Nobody mess with you. But you know what's right. That's all we saying. We ain't got to persuade him. And he know what's right. Cause Malcolm, we trust you, Malcolm. Me and Ken, what hospital you were born at? That's right, he was a bulldog. You know that. Now, what hospital you were born at? Fort Manfield.
That's an army base.
Yeah. He might work out for it. That's an army. That's it. Yeah. They came out with bullets and grenades. So yeah, that's in Atlanta. That's right there over from the other side of the West End over there.
Yeah,
right there. They closed it down too.
Tyler Perry turned to a studio.
Yeah, he done turned to Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
We count on you, Malcolm, because he messed up. Tyler Perry messed up for me.
Yeah.
Malcolm, do you know where Piedmont Park at? You know about Piedmont Park. You know what it is now. You know what it used to be. He with us, kid.
Yeah,
we ain't got to look at. Y'all heard it. What y'all saying? How he know what it is now, and he know what it was before? What does he just say that he didn't say? He said.
I know what he's gonna say.
If we know we're gonna.
I know what he's gonna say.
Man, we already know what Malcolm say. That's four of us. Y'all give us a hand. That's four of us right there. Hey, hold on. Is that right? We got another one too. Yeah, we got another. We got an ace in the bag too. Come, Malcolm. What we gonna do? Survey say we gonna give it to Malcolm. 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 Here we go, Malcolm. 5. We don't count you in, Malcolm. Hold on. What y'all saying about me now? What y'all saying is about me, just what is? Preacher can't be wrong. Yeah. That's it. All right, that's it. All right, listen. For the championship. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is like family. What we're gonna do? We're gonna ask, was Piedmont Park a gay park in the 70s?
And the 80s.
Survey. In the 80s. Yeah.
And half of the night.
Malcolm, you from here? Fort McPherson, born. Look at, we know where he was born. Where was he born at? Tell him where he was born at.
Atlanta.
Where, family, how you know that? We know, because we together. All right.
Exactly.
Malcolm, we're with you. All right. Survey said, was Atlanta Piedmont Park a gay park in the 1970s? In the 80s, yes. What's the question? Hold on. Somebody got to Malcolm. Listen, he went to school with Herschel Walker. Oh, you went to school with Herschel Walker. You ain't supposed to do that.
School with Herschel Walker.
Dominique Wilkins, all of them went over there. What y'all doing?
Dominique, he was there with Dominique.
They be somewhere crying. I ain't never heard Herschel Walker say that. Hey, y'all heard Herschel Walker say Atlanta Park? Dominique too. Dominique. Y'all remember the human highlight? You like Dominique. I like Dominique. Dominique ain't never said that.
Exactly.
That's what we got to go with. So Malcolm, the question was in the 70s, before Uncle Ted threatened your life. You ain't got to be scared of these folks. We call the police. But the 70s. Okay, that's all we need to know then. He don't know about the 70s. Hold on, let's do it. Let's count. 1. What's the next number? 3, 5, 7. So he look at that. You don't know about the 8, you got to know about the 7. How they know about the number? So somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. All right, then we're going to do. We're going to get Candy. Come with Treasure. Come on, start with Candy. We can try Candy. Candy, tell me. Look at Candy.
He was Dollar Tree up there.
Yeah, he was. He'll give him $1 and messed him up down there. And, you know, scarred up people. We could, we can get trust you. I know it. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want no persuade nobody because we honest men. We be honest men. You were born right here.
Yes, sir.
What hospital?
Southern Regional.
That'll work. Yeah, Southern Regional.
right
Right down from Cleveland. That's Mount Zion. Mount Zion, yeah, right. Get out there. Tar Boulevard. So I get off Mount Zion. Up the Riverdale Road. Yeah, the one down there.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 1941.
Yep.
And come up there, coming outside, go there and hang that right at that red light.
Yep.
And go down. It's on the right.
Yes, sir.
Give me some. We know where you at. We know where you at. We know where you at. You from here, right here. You from right here, ain't it? Right here. Atlanta, born, raised, Georgia. Right here. Woo! You ever heard of Piedmont Park?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, what you know about Piedmont Park? Gay. Do you believe them Georgia people that's in there, them Atlanta people down there, them outside agitators?
Probably
California, New York,
Oklahoma, Missouri.
Except for Wilbur the pig, he clean. Go ahead. There's some of them, they'll come up in Son of God here. Yeah, because they reporting some Jerry Curl juice around now. And ain't nobody in Atlanta got no Jerry Curl. It done pulled over. That's it. So here it is right here. It said for the survey because somebody got persuaded. Because it's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Yep.
Yeah, Larry with us. He with us too. Now we got 1 troublemaker, 2 troublemaker, Malcolm a half a troublemaker. Because he good for the 70, 80 he don't know. So he don't know about the 70. It was real clean then, Malcolm. I'll tell you about it later on. I seem like I remember walking, because I was going to the store by myself when I was 3. Yeah. I remember walking by that. I ain't seen no sister. Not in the 7. I ain't seen no. We didn't know what it was. You know what? You bought coffee, it had to get it black. We ain't had no sugar here. Georgia didn't have no sugar. That's the truth. We had to get a sugar cane. We ain't had no sugar. Everything was just plain. So, here it is, one more. And we'll, by way of Florida. He know what? Not no sugar.
Auburn Avenue.
No. Auburn Avenue. Since was down to Auburn Avenue in the 67. Yeah.
Simpson. No.
Stop it. Simpson Road, that's Charles Disco. Out down there.
They on Simpson Street, they used to have them out on them. You know they had the Daisy Dukes when the Daisy Dukes first came out.
Yeah, Daisy War.
They used to have them in them little cages on top. And they be out there dancing. He talking about freaking that.
No. No, we have nothing to know.
Talking about women.
Troublemakers. Put Uncle Ted's name on the board for us. Put Uncle Ted's name on the board and let Cat Hunter. Come on. Yeah, put that name on the board. We got see the only way they're gonna learn, you gotta make an example out of people. They don't remember nothing. Them men troublemaker too. No. We were clean. Down here. Yeah, put them on that troublemaker. So do that, Ted. Uncle Ted, your name on the board. Uncle Ted, your name on the board right now. You been causing trouble.
Pastor tell you, I'm a hitman.
So listen, we're gonna let him speak for us. We gonna believe y'all gonna. What y'all law teach y'all? We got 2 to 3. They got 2. So this be number 5 right here. All right, for a survey right here. What we're gonna do? So Atlanta Piedmont Park. It's a glorious park one time. It's glorious, beautiful. Women and children go and play. Free ice cream and something like that. Anyway, it was just it was just lovely. Just go out, what a lovely day. You just have fun, enjoy yourself, and reminiscing and parlaying and stuff like that. You can parlay, all that stuff. Now, do you remember or know of Atlanta Piedmont Park, the family park of Atlanta, Georgia, inspiring park for all them outside agitators brought the gayism in him? Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about it being a gay park in the 70s and 80s?
No, sir.
We've been the case. Y'all give us a hand clap. Y'all done heard the man speak for himself. Y'all heard the man speak for himself.
He from Atlanta.
You worry about that? See that? You know what? Don't worry about. Hold on. You know what? You don't have nothing. You know what? Let me tell you what happened. You know what? You know what I know. Now he want to know when he came. That's the same question they want to know about Yahushua. Where you come from, Yahushua?
What year you come?
44. Come on for 44. That's on the map. I thought that was a gun.
Man,
He was
God,
born in
No,
he came in 44.
Come on.
That make you.
You ate it. You ate it.
He'll be 102 today. If you came here 44, that make you 102.
You couldn't have been.
He'll be the same age Joe Louis is.
He'll be older than my mama.
And Lancaster was there too.
Mama 80.
Uncle Ted came here in 40. He said in 44 he came here in 42, and he was 37 then.
Man, old man, check. Hey.
37, 42. He was 37 at 2. He old.
Yeah.
He old. I added that up right now. That's old. And he was with it, and he came with it in 42.
Who, Lancaster?
Lancaster. Remember, he said he was 37 too in 1960. What was 47? What was it? 70? What year he went on?
And he was a real for real.
Tell him what year you came to Atlanta.
I was born here.
Don't know. He was and came here in 80. That's the year he got here. He got here in the 80s.
Ran all that sports.
He came here in the 80s. He came here in the 80s. So that's here he got. They're gonna Smith. I got one more now. Smith. See that? They got another one. She don't remember that. Got another. That be number 6. They put them nails in them coffins. Was Piedmont Park a gay park in the 70s and the 80s and the? What y'all gonna do, y'all? Y'all know Smith. What y'all do? See that? What? That's sick from Atlanta.
Y'all gonna say Schmidt Atlanta.
There you go. And then we got Dollar D. He was rapping on the train. Dollar D. Dollar D, when you born him? Oh, it don't even count. He was the Tacoma. Yeah. He from a Toyota truck. What year you came here?
He about right.
He about right. He'll mess it up anyway. Yeah, we ain't gonna be able to catch. Is there any more Atlanta people here?
There go Keisha right there.
Who else was born here? John from Miami. Well, you know, Dexter was born in Arkansas. Yeah. Rudy, you from?
Albany.
Albany. That's Georgia.
Yeah, he was Georgia.
What happened? What you heard about us down south? That's what I'm talking about. Yep. You heard right, Atlanta. You heard what he heard. He heard Atlanta was the place to be.
That's why he was here. That's why he came.
And that's why he didn't come here with all that trouble.
Exactly.
What hospital you were born at? What hospital you born at? East Orange General. I ain't never heard of it. I ain't never heard of it. Where is it still open? Is it still open today?
That's in New Jersey.
Where's the name of it? That's in New Jersey. You're not from here. What is he doing trying to impose as Atlantean? Excuse me, folks. Why y'all think he hit up?
He been since 71.
71? I don't remember seeing out here in 68. No, we got to keep our eyes on him. We watching him. So we got this one here. We got to watch him. He came here in 42. He was 39.
You need to take on the kinfolk down there, boy. They running over with them.
They're ready to run on it. It's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
we're going to be looking. Well, y'all get me and Carrie hand clap for clean up, Piedmont Park, and got another outside. What do you want? No. Is you, hold on before you start. Are you with us or against us? Somebody sent an article. Here you go, article. Here you go. Come on here. Let me get somebody. Come on. What year they were born in? What the article say? In 1969. Who said that? Who said that? No, let me see that. Let me see that. Let us see that. Bring it up and let us see that. I don't believe this stuff. Fake news. I see what Donald Trump talking about. It's all fake news. Fake news. Let's see that. Let's see that, man. Let's see that. Look at that.
No, listen. We need to see if they come from a Republican.
Yeah, that's it.
ATL.
Who is that? Who is that? We don't know them people.
Stories.
That's their name? What is Story? Lies.
Oh, hold on, here we go. AtlantaHistoryCenter.com.
Who?
AtlantaHistoryCenter.com.
Who you think writing the
Who you think? Yeah, ain't nobody. We wrote it.
I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
We don't know these people. We don't know these
Y'all
people.
can't see it as a big sign.
Atlanta Journal
They got a big
Constitution
sign that
ain't
says
said-
gay is good up there in Piedmont Park. And
Listen, what you talking about now?
No, this
No,
2020.
no.
This up 2020. This happened right here. These some
roll it-
2020. No, them for I
Man,
don't know
they
none
ain't
of
no
them people.
Piedmont
No, they ain't no
Pole,
people.
man.
No, see that. Look at him.
Ain't no
Police,
female pole, man.
What happened? Well,
Sexism.
from Miami to Atlanta. Oh, they talking about police. This him talking about stop police attack from Miami to Atlanta. What you talking about? Man, you done got the wrong story, man.
told you,
Man,
you
these
were
folks, fake
real-
news, fake news, everybody. We cleared it
The
up.
Atlanta Journal Constitution.
Mook, where you
Atlanta
born at,
Journal-
Mook? Where you born at, Mook?
Oh yeah, she from Atlanta.
You born right here in
her,
Atlanta,
all
Mook?
all her siblings.
Mook,
They
hey,
from
let me
Georgia.
ask something, Mook. Have you ever heard Atlanta had gays here in 1970? There we go, right there. That's all we need.
That eight.
Out of them, that book, out of them alphabets.
Yep, that eight now.
I can get the rest from Buck.
But have you ever heard about it? Have you heard Buck?
Yeah, Buck.
See that? No, him. Ian, when you born here in Atlanta? Okay, can't answer now. Don't worry about it. Who else born? Who else? At least you from Atlanta? Out of my life, sacrifice. Tell her, let me ask you something. Have you ever heard that Atlanta had gays here? Yes, I did. Nobody asked something. I asked something. She thought I said Alicia. I said, oh, wait before I ask you something. So something. He from Atlanta right here. Jack, you from Atlanta? Oh. Ain't you from Atlanta? Hold on for a minute. Where you born at? So you grew up and you done heard stories. True stories. And lies. Have you heard anything about Atlanta being gay in the 60s and the 70s? Only in the 90s. That's when they came.
I think them Lenita doing that stuff.
Lenita, where you from?
She sent that.
You sent that story right there? Who sent that? Who sent that bogus? Who spent them lies on Atlanta? Where you at? You from here? Casey, you from here?
She was great. She born in Grady.
You were great. You got to tell the truth with us. Tell it, what you know in the 60s? You heard that about in the 60s? No. In the 70s? No. What we need? What further? I'm like, pull up. What further witness do we need? Keisha right here. Y'all know Keisha. Treat the kids. Don't all these kids know Keisha? Non-violent, loving and caring. Non-violent, loving and caring. Now don't make her whoop you up. Where y'all kids that know Keisha? Y'all believe in Keisha, don't it? Don't get your behind whoop Keisha. Take that name down. Y'all who all believe in her? That's right. Let's sit down. Remember that?
Ben Dooley.
Yeah, Ben Dooley.
That
There you go, trying to mess up our story. He trying to mess up Herschel's good record. Herschel was an undercover. He was a special agent, special battalion agent Orange. You can't tell you about it because see, it can't get out like Wayne Williams. Wayne Williams was Secret Service too. He didn't tell nobody. He said, I can't tell you, can't divulge all that. We're going to keep our eyes on you. There's a lot of trouble in here, but me and Carrie done fit. Y'all heard it. We got 10, 11 folk from Atlanta who done told the truth.
There's some more out there watching too.
There's some more out there that know that truth that we talking about. This truth is spread.
They watching that though.
Ain't that right from everybody? Danielle been poisoned. That's all right. I know how it is.
School.
Yeah, that's right. We keep out. I appreciate it. Carrie, I appreciate you for your honesty.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Ain't that right? We got to clean it up. That's right. That's all we can do is tell the truth. One thing about me and Carrie, we will fail. It's two sides, the truth and their side. Ain't that right? That way everybody get a chance. You go to him. You heard in the 60s and the 70s, you ever heard that Atlanta, people Paul's gay Paul? You from Atlanta, born and raised. You heard that, you remember seeing gays in Atlanta in the 60s and 70s and the 80s. That's what we gonna do. The man can't do but tell the truth. He ain't never seen it. Not one. You hear that? The man ain't never seen no gay in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. I don't know what these folks want. What do they want from us? Zero. That's it. Whew. Ain't Smith, work with us, work with us. Ain't Smith, work with us. We got to work together. Uncle Ted already done popped up here in 1942. He was 70. What is he? He was 52 then. So we still trying to get the age right. Woo, but it's a lot of confusion out here about Atlanta. But one of the clubs, listen, everybody in Atlanta, y'all safe. Y'all safe today. We safe. What happened? That's wrong pride. We talking about pride like a lion has a pride. That's what I'm trying to see. That's what they get him in for 50 years. Atlanta has been proud to be Atlanta. Now, we ain't got nothing to do with the other pickle people. I can't say this stuff. Man, this I don't believe this stuff. I don't know. Do you know why I don't believe it? I don't know one of these white folks in that whole thing. I remember, listen, when I grew up in Atlanta, everybody knew each other. I don't know them people. Let me see that. Let me see Carrie Nuts. So we be fair. Carrie, remember that folk? No, Carrie, I'm just looking. Carrie, identify who you know. How many Carrie don't know nobody?
Stop police attacks.
That's what I'm saying. It's saying stopping. That's what they're talking about, stopping police attacks. And the pride is Atlanta saying, we proud to be here. Don't come up here from Miami with that stuff. This what it's in Washington, D.C.
Look like they're trying to get the civil right, look like they're trying to get it
the civil right amended. That's all we're trying to do.
That's what they're trying to do.
And they were proud of it. That's all they did. They were trying to. I don't know these people. And you don't know that? Well, we ain't got that bill.
Talking about civil rights.
Civil rights.
Talking about racism.
Racism, sexism. And they'll throw the sis in there. We done read. I don't read enough of that stuff. We got the truth, everybody. Don't go look at that stuff. Folks just gonna poison your mind. Fake news. Fake news, everybody. Fake news. It's the Russia hoax, all fake news. Hello? All fake news. Trump tried to tell it earlier. People gonna try to take it like, why we never heard of it? I've been here for 50 years. I don't know none of them people. Why I ain't seen none of them people? They celebrating 50 years. I should have ran into you 1 or 2 times. I'd be downtown all the time. I'd have seen you. If you were downtown, I'd seen you. How many of y'all been downtown before, Atlanta? I seen you. I'm looking at you. Raise your hand. Everybody been downtown. How is it I done seen all y'all ain't seen none of them people? How is it I done seen all y'all ain't seen none of them people? Because it's all fake news. It's fake news, okay? So we fixed that and we done cleared it up. Now, the other states got to tell the truth. And California burning up with them homosexuals. Everybody, you go out, it smell like sugar cane burning. How many of y'all ain't never smelled sugar cane burning before? Go to California. 55,000 acres of scissors burning up there. Atlanta, good, clean state. All these folks come, you look up, they're not from us. In Greater Hospital, if you ain't got a Greater Hospital, North Side, the DeKalb General, South Fulton, a Crawford Loan, a Piedmont Hospital, birth certificate, I'll be honest, I don't know where you come from. Then somebody born at Fort McPherson. How many was it there when you were born? How many besides y'all? He don't know the count. It wasn't but a couple of them over there. We like, Mac, you good, we can use you for the 70s. The 80s is questionable. Anyway, everybody all right tonight? Then Layla, I'm glad we was able to clear it up. How many of y'all got some lies being dispelled on your state? What state you from? All true. Who else? I want to help y'all tonight clear it up. Where your state from? Where you? South Carolina. What the folks saying wrong about South Carolina? Whatever I say about it, let me say that about South Carolina. Some of the nastiest, onerous, meanest, rotten folk from up there. Do you want to argue that point? See, she agreed. I cleared that up. See, so Hayward messed up the whole state. Anybody that got anything on their state, they need to know whether it's true or not. Good. That's good. So everybody on the same way. Atlanta clean now. Isn't that right? Atlanta's a state and a city. I'm from the state of Atlanta. Isn't that right? All right, now we got a little confusion with all these other different folk that mixed in. I see Ryder. Ryder tried to come in here and try to dispel us and put that old nasty, vicious room on them. And tell them the great state you're from right quick, Ryder. What's the great state name? And he was from Atlanta. He be a much nicer fella. Man, Atlanta got some of the nicest folks you'll want to sing. Listen, and he'd have been from Atlanta, he'd been pistol whipped with a pistol, not with a piece of paper. Atlanta, we know how to treat you when you come here. Ain't that right? You know you've been shot or you've been pistol whipped in Atlanta. There's no two ways about it. We're gonna try to get ready to move forward. Y'all people, I tell you, y'all have really hurt my feelings tonight. I did not know there were that many of y'all against this great state of Atlanta, Georgia. But we'll try. Prince, you weren't born here, was you? You were born in Colorado. Good, that's their problem. Hear that? You hear that, Jared? That's one of y'all problem right now. Him and Shemay. You were born in Louisiana. I thought you said you were from Colorado. I just lived there. You do a lot of state dropping, drop around. So you were born in Louisiana, lived in Colorado, lived in Atlanta, then Mississippi. How many of y'all just hearing this story? Prince, we don't know. Prince, how old are you, Prince? 37. I know Prince at least 47 years. I ain't never. How many of y'all done heard this story? Born in Louisiana, lived in Mississippi, lived in Atlanta, about where Alabama, Colorado, and New Jersey. Y'all done heard this story. That means she just keep adding on to it, because I just added to it. I can't lie on her, because she already done put it out there. That's a lot of state. All right, that's it. All right, we're going to get ready to sound a Kato Sarah. See what does say Mr. Yahuwah. Y'all out the chain. All right, kind sirs. They don't want to argue with you, Kerry. They'll lose that one. Kerry, I'm not going to lose. No fall. Well, we'll go back and look at this. So we were talking about, Kerry, win that argument for us. That's it. It's done. God was a good one. Y'all know, I love this up. But we talked about, we were going to try to finish it up. I think we had some pretty good information we were reading. And it's important for us to go back. And where we at and what I want everybody to focus on is that we're going to try to, Yahuwah willing, is take the right turn and focus on make sure we get this right. That's going to be the most important thing we got to do right now. With everything going on in the world today and things happening, and it's all coming to a close. A lot of this stuff we ain't got time for. We got to just make sure we stay focused and make sure we get it right at the end of the day. It's kind of like what we talked about William Methodist, Talmud Dean, the taught ones of Yahuwah wanted to know when Cover asked about what was going to happen to Yukonon. He told him that if I will, that he tarry till I come. He want to know what did that to do with you. What's going to happen to somebody else, and when that day coming, like he told me to Kenny Yukonon, they want to know about who was going to betray him. They want to know what was going to happen to him. They saw Yukonon laying on his chest, and they want to know what's going to happen to him. He said, if he be here until I come, what they got to do with you? You just follow me. So our goal is to make sure we following correctly. And that's going to be the real test of where we at. We talked about them several times in the second chapter of the book of Abarim that they call Hebrews, when he talked about how laying aside every weight and the kataim that does so easily beset us. A lot of people are running into a lot of hurdles. A lot of people keep getting caught in the same snag because there's a lot of weight you keep carrying. In order to keep doing it, you know, the hedge that he said it's so easily beset us. Before we look at that Bible, let's look up beset so we can see how they use it, so we just get an idea. Should be in hedge or seeing about. We know what reset is. Let's look at beset. Beset. So look, of a problem or difficulty, trouble or threatened persistently. So that's something we want to try to make sure we look at. Now, according with the King James Version, I use per version, it talked about let us lay aside every weight and the sin that does so easily beset us. So which means of a problem or difficulty, trouble, or threatened persistently. So this is something we have to look at, okay? And down at the bottom, we were looking at it, it was telling us how it was archaic. So you saw number 2, it tells us archaic. So that's something we want to look at. Goodness. Plague, look at them, bedevil. These are words they don't even use more. Attack. That's how we want to get ourselves attacked or afflicted a lot of times with things. And the reason why we keep getting ourselves in the same situation, because we haven't learned how to move away from things. And that's the difference between a person that's going to be Yahshua saved and a person that is If you can't transition, you can't be saved. A lot of people get kind of herded into things, and they spend too much time trying to figure out how angry or how upset they are about things, and it holds them back from their real growth. And a lot of times that'll kill you. You can get something and it's good for them, but if you can still contain it when it's in a difficult situation, like things are outside of what you're comfortable with, or things kind of put you in a situation where you should be more erratic, you still got to hold to the cadence that he gave us regardless. If this is only good for when I calm down, I'm so upset, hypothetically, and I'm so angry at Cam right now, I'm going, but then when Yahuwah is calling Yakra, I got to be able to dismantle. I can't, once I get through with this, I'm too far in this right now. I just got to deal with that later. The man got to get, but I'm calling you. So when I'm calling you, whatever you're doing, you got to drop it. Even with the Talmudim, Cuff and Andrew, his brother, they were fishing. The book said they dropped their nets. Why would they drop their nets? They had already been used. I was holding them. I was getting ready to use. They're in my hands. I'm using them. Got it? But when he told them to follow him, they dropped their nets to follow him. See, they weren't so hung up like we are on what's going to happen. I don't know the future. I like to kind of know what's going to happen. When you get up in the morning, you don't know if you're going to make it through the end of the day. You're still going. You got your car. You don't know if it's going to crank. It ain't guaranteed you're going to expressway you're going to get off, not the way you got on. You might got on a whole car. You might get off in a car that's cut in half, and so are you. Or it might be flipped over in the top, mangled all up, and it's mashed in, and you crushed in it. So it's important for us to consider, we take a lot of things for granted, but I want to make sure for myself and for us that we're never so far gone into something that we can't be called back. See, sometimes Yahuwah give you, like they say, give you a little leash to see how far you go, and to see, are you willing to say, I got a call saying I got to come back. I'm being called back. It don't matter where your mindset or what you're doing. I got a lot of people that, from my inner side, I really put them aside. I just hate them. That's just it. Don't give them no repentance. But I just be honest with you. You hear that about pray for your enemies and you do stuff like. I just be honest with you. I've looked at for years and I felt like that's part of a white man's conception to make me forgive him when he's doing something against me. But it makes sense when you really sit around and think about it. When you looking at how many of y'all been hurt by other people? I mean, really hurt by them. and you feel like your anger is justified. And you feel like death or whatever couldn't come on them fast enough. So why we ain't got ours yet? Because if anybody that should have hate against them, it shouldn't be no forgiveness. We all can agree, can we? It should be me. And a lot of times, and now, you'll wonder, you'll say, well, when you don't bother people, you don't do nothing. Why would somebody do something to you? Well, he'll look at you. Yahuwah didn't bother us either. And we did something to him. Yahushua said we hated him without a cause. You can only imagine what he wanted to happen. I mean, you strip your clothes off. Somebody take your clothes and rip them off in public. Somebody blindfold you and spit in your face, start beating. What should happen to them? Forgive them? Don't hold it against them? I want 10 times worse than this to happen to you. But yet he forgave us. But the only way we could understand the position he was in and what he actually did and how valuable it was is for other people to do something to you that you can be completely innocent of. That you can actually done nothing to be rewarded what you got. You got it. And yet he forgave you. Now, us, on the other hand, to see the difference between us and him was the fact, the only difference between him and us, y'all know what it was? Who knows? Hands? What was the only difference between him and us? Hands. So what? Exactly. One difference. He obeyed the word. Only difference. The only difference between, so what that meant? He didn't have a mother and a father. He didn't have flesh. He didn't have bones. He didn't hunger. He didn't get sick. He didn't get tired. What does it mean? Everything we do, he did too. And took on more. So everything he asked us to do is only a replica of what he did. When we watch other people come through, those people will be more what we talk about as an allegory, where you'll look at something being more of an abstract towards something to get you to understand it or see it. But with him, he came to give us the understanding to understand. That we had to grow even more. I mean, it's easy to hate your enemies. It's easy to want something to happen to you. It's really easy. It's not hard. I snatch your purse, take off running, everything you got in there. What come right to your mind? Forgive him. He don't know what he's doing. It's a wrong. You're thinking, the bastard, I hope he die, get ran over by a car. I hope he go to jail, don't never get, I hope he burn in hell. All that is what we naturally feel. So when you can set that aside, just so you can be able to keep the ordinance of Elohim. See what I'm saying? That's a discipline he's trying to call us to. It doesn't matter. It's just like a parent telling, I don't care what you're doing. You was out there going, your parent tell you kind of, shut your mouth. Got that ain't it? I got to keep going. I ain't finished. No, your neck finna get broke. Well, all Elohim is trying to get us to realize that's all I'm trying to get you to do. Regardless of what you got going on, regardless of how you feel about something, if I'm calling you and I'm telling you to do something, you got to put that aside. So the problem has been with us, all of us, is that when we get to going, it's when I cool down. Then I come back and I feel bad about it and I feel sorry and I repent now. Man, if I could have, but you can. And you should have. All of us. And that's where he got us at. Let you go and see how far you can go and then see he can call you back in. Can I call you back? There's some people you can't call them back in. I'm just out here. Hey, man, I just had to go to hell. And then later on, you know, this is where you headed. When he can't control, which is Sheol, where you going? I can't control you. I can't do nothing with you. When you dead set on something, you persisted towards something, you won't listen. This is the same attitude, the same mindset we saw with Balaam. You see what I'm saying? He was so angry with this man that looking at him, I tried to draw you in on several occasions. I told you clearly what I do, and you still kept at it because you went after what was in your law. And that's something that we're trying to make sure we consider, we understand. Beset, can we see Beset one more time, please, before we go? Our goal is, and for me, I got too many members all out of pocket. Too many out of pocket. So we got to change direction, get everybody back in pocket. Because at the end of the day, y'all came here for a reason. I ain't going to let you down. You came here because you want to be right. I know I say some stuff funny and witty. That's not going to save you. At the end of the day, that's all I got. You can go see I'm going to say a Steve Harvey concert, but you're going to be wasting your money. I ain't never heard a funny thing in my life come out of that man's mouth. I know something, man, you Steve Harvey funny. You corny. I've never in my life heard that man say one thing funny. I can't recall. I just never heard. I heard the Miss Green, my eye. I said, I really don't get it. Is this supposed to be comedy? I get the truth. The man got one of the funniest faces to one of the funniest men that ever lived on the planet. Richard Pryor was funny. The man was just flat funny. And when he looked what he could say, how he did it, and Rich was just, that was Rich. But he's trying to imitate that. I wouldn't do it if I were him. I'd just give me another face on. I'd probably try to go to McDonald's and be a cook, make coffee or something like that. I definitely wouldn't try to be a comedian with them jokes he got. But I mean, that's his life. But for us, we got to consider beset of a problem or difficulty, trouble, or threaten persistently. Okay? So when he said, let us lay aside every weight and the kataim that does so easily beset us, that's what we know. How many didn't know what beset meant? I had no reason to look it up. Because when you're reading, I'm looking for other words that clearly get us. That's what you do. When you read, you don't know something, you keep reading, you find something that's common to you. And then you try to understand it from that point. If it's a word I don't know, I ain't going to deal with that word. I don't know that word. Let's go with what I know and try to define and try to work from here. But there are some other things I'm missing, some difficulty. That's what put us in the How many of y'all, you don't have to raise your hand, can't admit you're going through some difficulty and it's persistent? Right? I ain't even have that, because it happened. And guess why? Because of the weight. Because of the weight of the kataim. You know what we're going to do? Pray about it. Let's pray. Lord, what is it, Lord? Lord, I don't know what's going on. Lord, the devil's just working. I'm under attack. How many folks agree they're under attack? Can we agree? Under attack. Attack hinders. Okay. And now, but listen, why? But how do we get to beset? Difficulties. How do we get to there persistently? Listen, how many can say, man, it's like one thing after another? Beset. And how did we get to this point? Was because of what he told us to do. Lay aside. Just get rid of it. Don't even just put it aside. It's a weight to you. It's a problem. And some of us to where, I just been with you. You're going to pray for me. Because I ain't there. And that's dangerous for any of us. It's dangerous somebody got to pray for you, you ain't there when you here. If I ain't there when I hear on this one thing, how I'm there for salvation? This one thing, I'll be honest with y'all, this one thing I got, I just can't get past that. Everything else I'm good. I assure you, Mr. Hood said, you ain't good on none of it. I just used this one thing to show you where you was at. Y'all understand me? How much been guilty of that? And one thing, I just be honest, let's say it's my Achilles heel, all this stuff. I'm just being honest. Listen, if you're going to be saved, the first thing you have to be able to do is sit down to recognize. But the real reason why we didn't make changes, because we were never put in a situation to understand how to recognize something. There's some stuff you just scared over, don't worry about. And the stuff we skate and we move over other things, a lot of times, that's our biggest problem. That's just being honest. You know, once I cool down, I'm one of them people, you know, once I said it, once I kind of come back to myself and I get together, I'll come back and admit I'm wrong. You're like, yeah, a problem. Especially if I'm talking. And one thing, if there's no rationality there to pull you. But when there's rationality talking to you, there's right trying to speak to you, there's truth speaking to you, and you just so far going your way, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. And so now, where we're at is, and I appreciate Kamashi, later they call Wednesday night, the fact that we were able to sit back and look at understanding and understand. I'll be honest with you, 2 words I'd have never even took my time to look at. Never had a reason to. Absolutely no reason. Understanding is giving the ability to be able. Understand is meant to comprehend. But we'll look at it. You comprehend, you understand? I can't unless I have what? Understand. I have to have the ability. If you just say, first of all, you got to understand, brother, to understand. What did I just tell him? Absolutely nothing, because he don't know what I said. And he going to have to sit here and call people look and say, yeah, I got that. And he don't know. It means to have the ability to, which in order, we'll look at the Shalakim, the people called the apostles, the Talmudim, the taught ones, they're called the disciples. And people look and say, wow, you know, these people, they were with him, and they were there, and they still didn't have understanding. So all they were doing, everything he told them, according to the 24, 44, the book of Orion, we'll go back down. These are the words, the Dabarim that I spake to you while I was yet with you. So did he just start speaking it then? There was understanding. Yet he didn't, well, that was to understand. This is what they need to understand. The words that he spake the whole time he was with them. This is what they needed to understand. What he said while he was with them, they needed to understand the words he was saying the entire time he was with them. And you know what he realized? Now I need to give you the ability. See, and what happened with churches, not just churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, whatever people want to call themselves, a lot of times we don't think about it that way. That you really need the ability, which means we got to give you something to give you the capability to be able to do it. You need the capability to be able to comprehend. And that's what we really didn't have. People didn't work. People just went, they said things. People said them, which word? And you look up and you say, man, I missed something. They just as dumb as you is. A lot of people didn't understand. They grabbed something and ran to some type of spiritual realm. You want a realm? Go play basketball. This was meant to be plain, to be understood, so you'll be able to do it. It makes no sense to come back here and judge me on some mosh pot. This is the fear we all have. I have a fear of mosh pot. My fear is Sheol, and I want to keep it that way. That'll keep my hands off of other women. Y'all got it? It'll keep me with some dignity and some self-respect. You need that fear. He said that's the beginning to get understanding. It give you the ability. You need fear. If there's no fear, there's no willingness or persistence to drive you toward it because you're not afraid. A lot of people, you're not afraid. And I know you're not afraid because you still do things that contradict the Torah, which is the law. I always look at the law as what? Direction. You're putting something together. How many of y'all took something out and start putting together, look at the picture like you got it, and you get there, you can't figure out something, and now you got to kind of go back and look. You want to scan whatever, but you go, and now when you look, you might have to take some apart to put something, and it fit. You look, you say, this don't even make sense. It can't go here because I don't see where it goes until you go back and the instruction shows you clearly you missed something. Now guess what? All the time, and your frustration, the time you wasted arguing it don't belong, it don't go, it because you didn't want to admit you were wrong. I know because I done it. These folk done put some extra here on go. This thing tore up, it's a piece of junk. You know what I'm saying? Any food can see this don't go nowhere. I done put it together. It don't go. And then when you go back and look over the thing, just to prove it to yourself, to show these people don't know what they're doing, you realize, take something apart to put it back. And you know what you got to look at? Now you got to go back and do your works over. That's what Yahushua was trying to get us to do. Repent and do your first works over. So I look at the Torah a little different than people. I look at the law because law has codes and reasoning and rules to them, regulation. But I also want to look at it as instructions and directions on how to do something. This is why he's going to be able to come back and destroy Anashim and the Arites. Ain't going to be able to cast people in the Sheol because he's going to have a right to it. The law is clear. Y'all got it. It's clear. It's a light. When we learned in Tyler, he said it was a light unto his path. So it illuminated, it made it things clear on how to walk. When Shaul told her, furthermore, as you received of us how you ought to, well, in Tahalim, it told her that the word was a light unto my path. So it made clear to me how I should walk. And a lot of times we're stagnated because we don't want to come back and follow the instructions. My goal is to pull up back to get the instructions so we get it right. We wasted a lot of time. And a lot of us have been right here, including me. We've been here. A lot of you right here. And you know what? I know you're talking about the devil working on me. And Satan attacking me. Let's just tell the truth. It's the stuff we won't let go. And the things we won't let go put us to where now it looks like, you know what? Since I've been away, man, just like everything become, all hell done broke out. No, all hell ain't broke out. He's trying to get you to identify. If you don't physically see with your eyes and recognize with your mind what's going on with you, it'll bypass you. You'll be clueless. See, it comes in to let us see why instead of keep praying and asking him why. He said, well, let's do this. Every time somehow you keep praying, you keep asking me why. I'm trying to figure out why did I give you the book? Why did I give you a teacher? Go ask her. I told you to ask now the Kohan. What was it again? Wow. And that is what they would call Old Testament. But then he told let him that's taught in the bar communicate with him that's teaching all good things. So a lot of things is just a matter of communicating. A lot of people don't communicate like I'm bar. Some stuff y'all come with. I can look in your eyes, I already tell you don't want nothing. I seen Beth, she'll come, she'll get something. She might kick her heel on something. Please, I said, she just need a hug. That's all, just need a hug. But we got to recognize know what your people need. Somebody got to look at this and say, you don't want nothing, nigga. What you want? Oh, you deserve, because you don't want nothing, nigga. But you got to recognize and know what people need. You know what I'm saying? People just want to know, I have that access, I have that ability. You got it? The ability that I want to get you guys on, not the access to me, but the access to him, because he's the person that issues out the Ruach HaKodesh. Okay? And that's what we need. Everybody needs it, okay? But you can't get it unless you grasp a certain point of understanding. You can't get that understanding unless he gives you an ability. See, a lot of it came with maturing. Why would you say, why wouldn't he give them the ability then? A lot of things became clear once he gave them the ability to understand what he told them. So a lot of things we heard over time, it didn't click for us right off. Some things we heard, it didn't click. And eventually you start seeing things clicking and puzzles and things start coming to happen. Because we want to see further, are you going to be persistent enough to stay to get it? He started out with 84, 72 walked off. Why? Because people look at me, I ain't got time. I just been with you. I'm real busy. So whatever you're going to do, if you're going to do water, wine, you're going to let somebody touch the garment, hem your garment. If you're going to come and going to raise up the daughter Jari, if you finna do all this stuff, if you finna kill folks and roofs got to come off and feed 5,000 men, not include women, children, some more, we're going to need to get it done in 10 minutes. Because I'm very busy. And we can't get it done. I'm like a couple of days, I'm like real fast, I got to go. But when he talked to Covenant, asked them to turn to the other 12 and asked them, he said, well, will you also go? He told them, where shall they go? He said, you got the debar of Alam Kai, eternal life. That was the only reason he came. See, and I told y'all before, if you don't source down to why you came, some of us could have been drawn through a relationship. Some of us came over through other people. Somebody invited, hey, come. And then things kind of changed and mean people. Some people came, they heard it, flicked on the internet. This guy crazy. This guy's really crazy. That's interesting. Some people, they heard it right off, they could pick it up and realize, like Rudy, there's some people here. I mean, I'm just saying, some people, no, I'm serious. There's some people, you heard it for yourself or you heard it through Bible at the time? Heard it first? See, the person that first shot at him gone, but he him. It can happen. Some people came through other people because at a point, then you start realizing you didn't leave with him, did you? That's right, because sometimes people, you might start out with a person, but then you start realizing what's for you. That's the truth. Some people make commitment with people. It's me and you in, me and you out. I can't make that agreement with you. I don't know what it's going to take to make you out. I'm here for my soul. So when you start to understand why you're doing what you're doing, then you kind of get more into understand. Y'all got what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't realize it took a lot of different events to get us to that point, even to where we transition to now. It takes things to happen, and you got to be willing to transition. Some people can't wait for transition. Some people run fast and run quick. Oh, I got to try to get back, but the door closed. Hello? That's how it works. The door closed. Listen, the opportunity he's giving it to everybody, but a lot of people are in the same state you in. It's choices. A lot of y'all had to make choices and make decisions. My life was going a whole different way, okay? I ain't have nothing in my mind. I ain't date nothing. I ain't slept on and consider going no church on no Saturday, okay? Sunday's the Lord's day. They got that. Now, if you want to go on Saturday, that's your Lord's day. The Lord's day is Sunday. The man rose early. He ain't raised early. He rose early Sunday morning. Everybody know that. That's when you go to church. All right? Saturday, cartoon, lay back, relax, shop, other stuff like that. Sunday, Lord's day. If you can get up from Saturday night. Because he understands. So all these different things, as you look at how my life was going from shacking up to everything I was doing, that was a lot. It was a lot to consider. It's like a whirlwind. It's like everybody I knew, and you don't realize your relationship with people are contingent upon what you do. All of my friends were on my same scheduler, and I didn't realize that everything with them was contingent upon what I believed. I lost all those people. I don't have one person I transitioned over from now that we still friends. I still know we ain't no friends. We ain't no keep in touch. Do anybody know what I'm talking about? But let me say that before I came here, we were regular. It was regular. I remember one got me and him. Oh my God, we would hang out. We did so much stuff. It was ridiculous. We go fishing. Listen, man, we go fishing. Someone he'll hear me. He said, "Man, let's go fishing." Jump on, we finna take off, go grab the boat. He gonna grab the boat, we shooting to go fishing. I mean, that's what we did. We always smoking, we always hanging out, we always doing. So I remember the time I talked to him on the phone, and I had told him, I said, yeah, he hit me. I said, I told him, get in the church. He said, I hit you back. Yeah, he said, I hit you back. That been over 28 years ago. That ain't no lie, that been over 28 years ago. He should be calling in a few minutes. Because people look, that our relationship was contingent upon what we were doing. And you need to know that because your relationship with Yahushua is contingent upon what you do. You know, they say, once saved, never. Your relationship with him is only contingent upon if you do what he tell you. And you realize that with your friends. Why you think with them? Because I did some things that they wanted to do, and they did some things. That was the only reason we were friends. Now, I didn't want to do that no more. I want to do this. And they looked at that's not what I want to do, so we're not friends no more. It wasn't a verbal conversation we had, but they just looked at, we just naturally just grew apart, as people say, because you start making changes for you. A lot of time in life, we do things based upon trying to date or trying to create relationships or trying to get positions or trying to secure things or trying to do other things. And the one thing you'll realize with everything you're doing and you're getting, how much time have you used to try to secure your salvation? You'll get people get jobs. You say, man, you saying take that job. They say, I'm trying to do something, though. You know what I'm saying? It got benefit. It got retirement. I don't want to let it go. I'm in it for the... But then they'll come with you and they'll quit first sign of thing, and people will stay all the time on to create and to do. Add people who retire from 30, 40 years out of job. You had no trouble, no hard time, no storms. You had no mishap. You know what I'm saying? But they weathered to do it. When it comes to Yahuwah, it's quick to quit and to walk away to find reason to stop. But this will be the only thing that give you your best benefit is serving him. Hello? And that's something you got to think about. I told y'all, listen, people don't believe, this ain't for everybody. Listen, I don't even talk to people about the way. I really don't. These people like, man, I was a preacher. That's why you ain't one. Because you'll run your mouth too much. It ain't for everybody. It's not because everybody don't consider it. Like there are people that are to an end to where they sat down to listen and they consider. Because a lot of us have questions internally. We do. We have a lot of questions. Some questions you don't want to know the answer to because you know what you're going to have to do. Huh? I know some people say, if my wife cheating on me or if it's my husband, I wouldn't even want to know. Why do you think that is? Because they find out that I'm going to have to separate. I'm going to have to break up. We're going to have to get a divorce. We're going to have to sell the house. Then the kids going to be. So I just don't want to know. I just rather know about it. Don't tell me nothing. I don't want to know nothing. And people serve like that because you know what they look at? To know the truth, just like learn. I'm not going to. Because if I learned that Jesus is not an actual literal name, this was something was fabricated. Now, what else am I going to question? Just the name? I got to go back through all verbiage now. How much work is this? What does this put me with everybody who I love, everybody who loves or like me? We all believe in Jesus. How am I going to look when I talk to these people and say, hey, you'll be surprised. I know some, I remember my friends, I just knew someone when I talked to them, they'll want this thing. Man, I talked to them for like, what? I ain't talking about this. When I was talking, they're like, intercomes, nothing to talk about. Best friends, listen. All that stuff over with. That's how, people, you realize how distant, and you try to figure out how do we have this relationship? Because we all served in lies. We all believe lies. We were comfortable in lies. And you'll learn that when you realize when your eyes become illuminated to the truth, when your understanding becomes enlightened, and you start to question, because you start to see truth, you realize that's not what everybody want to do. You would think, man, other people I got to talk to my mom. I got to tell people. I got to tell people. People don't want to hear that stuff. Hang their phone up. Before the time, I don't want to hear that stuff because I don't want to be chargeable. People believe I'm only going to be charged for what I know. And you know when you go to court, how many of y'all ever been to court before? Have y'all ever seen a case or internet? And you know when a person gets up there and say, Your Honor, I didn't know it was a speed sign out there. And the judge said, well, I definitely can't give you I can't charge you. How you didn't know a ticket? What they tell you? Ignorance. Void understand is no excuse for the law. Which means whether you said, I didn't even know what the speed was. You would think they would say, well, you didn't know. And then these folks will say, God ain't gonna see the hell cam if you don't know something. But you go to court, you supposed to tell the judge that. You can't charge me with this ticket. God ain't gonna send me to hell for what I don't know. And I didn't know that. Because you don't want to face the real fact of the truth. You want to believe something that makes you comfortable in your rotten situation or the negative, dysfunctional person you are. Because there's something wrong with a person. I talk about when people know something and like a pothole. I've used that example before. I run into a pothole and tear up some of my car. Somebody else, I'm pull over because I'm pissed my car or whatever's messed up. And you see somebody else hitting come. And you're like, goodness, another one, then another one, third. At some point, somebody need to stop and say, hey, y'all go around. But no, listen, they got to do the same thing I did. I think that's sick, that you feel like other people need to suffer. You know what? They got to learn like I did. You'll learn like I did if he grants you that opportunity if you're not a hero at the time. But in other ends, we got to warn people. Y'all got it, especially when you look at the detriment it costs you. Why would you be comfortable seeing other people in that situation? And I tell y'all, what you want for yourself, you ought to want for other people. I want all the money in the world. So what would everybody else have? Think about your conversation. I ain't never think. How many of y'all I want all the I want to have all the money in the world? Nobody thought that. Nobody said that. That's good. I ain't but two numbers. It's just a million to them. It's starting to come out. So what would everybody else have? We had all the money in the world. See what I'm saying? It leaves other people without. Now, if Yahushua had that same mind, where would we be? Hello? Now, when he was given not all the money in the world, he said all authority was given to him. And y'all saw how it was. Kept it for himself. But he told Charlotte King that they should receive power. All right. He told them that. So he wasn't a selfish person. If I got all, come on. But he said, but you shall receive it. I'm going to grant some out to you. When he told them about him, Mount Cooper, going to be established, they wanted to know, and what should we get? He said, you also going to have one. That's the mind he had. He came to let know I'm only here. I'm working for a purpose. And these guys, I don't want you working for nothing. You know what? The Lord had to give me nothing. I'm satisfied with it. That makes absolute sense. You're too dumb to be saved. Because the people that he actually taught had, they'll teach you that, Christian. You don't ask the Lord, you don't want nothing. The Lord give you enough. The man only came here because he was working for his own establishment. We talk about people getting their own business, people getting on your own, becoming self-employed. That's temporary. The man was setting up. He told them they were going to receive Mount Cool. You're going to be established. I'm going to set you up. That's the mindset. But until you can free yourself from the captivity of kataim and selfishness and besetting yourself because of all the other things that you hold to, that you're just too prideful to let go, you just stay stagnated. Something to consider. All right, we're going to Romans 15:4 right quick. Y'all got something to consider? The word program from anybody listening, watching, that's trying to obtain and get. This is Romans 15:4. Listen.
For whatever Nikata before.
Whatever. Where did that leave out? Whatever. No exception. Whatever was written. So now when I look at the debacle, I remember I told y'all before I read years ago. I like these people. I read the book. And I don't know. Probably like in 1992 or 3, something like that. My memory just that sharp I can remember. But when I read it, I didn't read it with the understanding. You know what I'm saying? With the ability to be able to really comprehend what I was reading. Certain things kind of plug in hell. I went back over some things. I read it one time. It pretty much kind of burned itself in a sense, but now I know so much that we can remember anyway. Time set in. But I say that to say, knowing this as a basis, I would have took my time if I had the ability to comprehend it. Because if I know that whatever was written before was written
For our learning.
to teach me, to show me, and to instruct me, I would have read it differently. I would have read it differently. Even though it wasn't even though it wasn't infallible and capable of error, I still would have looked at it differently simply because whatever it was that was written was only there to show me, to teach me, to instruct me. So I would have known what to do. Now the difference is certain things I learned, thou shalt not kill, different things they might tell you, and other things, I'm just using those as a basis. But why? But why? Oh, I know thou shalt not kill, but why? Why shouldn't you commit adultery? What the Bible said. Why? That's what the Bible said. So you can persuade me when I don't have understanding. Just like Ka'ur in the garden they called Eve. They were told, don't eat it, and
Don't touch it.
did they have the ability to understand? Is the key. Because the ability to understand would have gave them what they needed to be able to comprehend the importance of why. Y'all got it? This goes against. Y'all got it? These are premises for life. If I'm trying to, you eat, what they tell you about it? Don't live to, but eat to. So he told me that man shouldn't live by every bread, by bread alone will come along, but by every. So that's why I don't touch it. That's why I won't eat it, because it's gonna deplete me. It's not gonna add to me. But when you don't have the ability to be able to comprehend, it's really questionable. When he told me not to, he could have meant, like people say stop, but they really mean keep going. Or do when people say stop, they mean stop. But when you don't have the comprehend, or you don't have the ability to comprehend it, then it leaves a lot of things to your guessing. Because I don't have the ability to understand it, to understand. So therefore, I hear what he said, but then I got my own rationale. That's what she said. She said now when she saw that the tree was good for food, food for food, and one to be desired, and pleasant to the eye, to make one wise, what did she do? The book never told her that. See, that's why it's dangerous when he talked about how a man talked about us leaning to our own understanding, and in all our derog, what we supposed to do? And acknowledgement would have been to do what he said and not to do it. You can question me and answer me about it, but I ain't moving what I told you. See, a lot of us, it ain't good to conversate with people of different beliefs, because instead of you being able to give a reasonable answer to your call, the expected weight that you're doing and you're standing on, you'll wind up being persuaded and you'll be convinced and you'll turn away and you'll fall away. That's why it ain't good to entertain conversation. I remember when I first started hearing the word as I knew it, and man, you start talking to people, you realize you don't know everything you know, and people throw some questions on you, be left stuck. And you don't know enough, some people just give up. I talked about, I remember years ago, you remember somebody told you that we was in an era, it's probably called a house of prayer? And I mean, a person showed you in the book, he said, my house should be called a house of prayer. He came, he said, we wrong. I said, well, okay, they said we wrong. No, they said we wrong. What you tell me for? He told we wrong. I said, we wrong. He said, it probably be called a house of prayer. Jesus said, my house should be called a house of prayer. And he got me. He tied me up for about 2 seconds. Because I said, well, show me in there where any place would call a house of prayer. He realized he had ran too fast. You trying to witness and move the people. But it's in there. He did say my house. He was talking about a behavior that should be done now. Because remember, why would it make hands? Why would that make sense? Okay. Let's look at when Solomon built it. If y'all remember the consensus that he made with Elohim, that if the people got put to work, if they pull out in this place, he said, then I'll hear from here and I'll forgive their kataim, their sin. So that's why it would make sense that it would be called a house of prayer, because there is where we will Yakra call on him and he will hear us. But see, when this guy, whoever heard it, he got these folks that go name the church house of prayer. And folk run there, I know it's the Lord, because it's called a house of prayer. And if people ain't got no understanding of why, you just ran and you took a quotation and you ran with something that sounded good to you. It was a behavior. You never found where no temple, no establishment would ever call a house of prayer in the book. But if that's what you want to put there, don't go hollering you following the book because you done it. Because they're in a whole money and line and everything else, and they ain't supposed to be there either. Okay. All right. All right, let's see something. So now we know that for whatever things soever were written for our learning, to show us, to teach us, to instruct us, that through
endurance,
going through without giving way. Y'all got it? Going through without giving way. Going through something and not letting something cause you to deviate, pervert. Remember that? Shaul told him in the book of Galatians 1:6, he said he marveled, which he looked down with amazement, that they were so soon removed from him that called them into the corner of Yahushua unto another, the tube news, that's that gospel. And he said, but there'll be some that would trouble you and would pervert, would be caused to deviate from a proper course. Pervert. Deviate from a proper course. You see a person, you call them perverted, because that's not the way you see them doing. You perverted, because that's outside of the norm. Y'all got it? So he looked at these folks that caused you to deviate from a proper course. So that's why it's important for us to be established in what we're doing, being solid in what we're doing. Y'all got it? Because people will come and do it. Now, when they get you to move, you just fell from endurance that they put patience. Okay, let me tell you something else that'll cause you to deviate or cause you to not endure. Y'all know what to do that? Wait. Wait. Dang, how many times can you do probably 135 pounds? 40 times. How many times can you do 135 pounds if I put another 200 pounds on it? Wow. Endurance done went. He'll quit, done gave up. What could he do to keep him from breaking away or keep him from losing endurance? Who know what it is? Sit down. And guess what happened when we find out with people, why people quitting, why people not getting the performance that they're trying to get? Check your weight. People don't realize, even with race cars, they don't actually, a lot of people are kind of not that mindful of things or not conscious of things. Race cars don't track on, even though the track is round, you never bring a car to the racetrack the day of the race and start driving it. That's completely, utterly stupid. When you bring the race car to the track, you load the car up and you race it. They let them do that for the week of the race. That's how they know how fast they know what their car do on a turn. I'm going to get out on this track because it's round, and I'm going to load this car, but I'm going to just shoot around this track. This car will slide. So they understand at certain points when the gas is burning out and they start burning gas, they understand what the car can do and how it performs at a certain speed. That's why you're doing it for the week. I'm watching the car as I'm burning gas, losing gas, how it performs in curve. Because it might come down to a final curve. I need to know I can hit it here with this amount of gas and still get through, or I'm going to do one of these slides and slam into the wall. I need to know that before race day. Just like you need to know if you're going to be saved before mosh pot. You'd be a fool to pop up there on day of mosh pot and you hadn't went through and we did no test runs. You might slide and crash. So guess what? We get an opportunity now to test the track and see exactly where we at, to see what we can do in the final stretch. Hello? This thing coming to the home stretch now. How you know what you can handle? How you know you won't crash and you burn out? How do you won't slam into a wall and lose a tire? Hello? The man is telling me that whatever was written the fourth time was written to show me, to teach me, instruct me, so that through
Endurance.
going through without giving way, then I got to be able to test it to make sure. Wow. Listen.
And the coon.
That's right. Consolation. Consolement. So on this test track while I'm going, so if I go through and I do, let's say slam into the wall, because I was going too fast. I wouldn't consider my weight. I wouldn't consider everything I got. Is that the end for me? Maybe I just pick my stuff up and go home and just give up. Or he come out and let me know, you know what? Let's do it again. This time you take that curve, slow it down a little bit. Once you get out the curve, hit it. Give me that encouragement, let me know that you were doing good. Don't quit. You can do it. Let's go back and repeat the cycle, but let's not do the same thing. Let's make adjustments. And a lot of times, that's what happens. A lot of us, we'll make adjustments. I talked about before a shoe. And I had to learn that. You get going, you get the shoe, and you off, man, I'm off. And you know why a lot of times you stay out? Because you won't make adjustments. A lot of it's adjustments. I'm shooting is short. You know what I need to do? Go back further. Because I'm missing further. Get closer before I shoot. It's going too much to the right. You need to kind of get over to the left. You make adjust. You know, some people, they'll stay off the whole night because in their mind, they won't adjust. This is where I'm at. You know what? It just ain't falling because they don't. You know about ministry? You've seen people that, have you ever felt in that before where you sometimes you realize if you'd have made adjustments, you was shot. And a lot of times because you're looking at this my move and usually it do this instead of realizing you got to make adjustments. Same thing with football. You play football all the time. You know what I'm talking about? Make adjustment. Man, keep breaking on you, so you make adjustment, ain't it? So that's what I'm saying. This is what we're learning with this. All the stuff we do in our carnal life from sports and other things we do teach us how to make adjustments on things. But yet when it comes to the word, there's no adjustment changes. Everything, once something happens, go to hell. Burn, it is. And guess what? Because the enemy puts that in our mind. Versus, I can make some adjustments. If I'm still here, why don't I have a chance? The last chance, the only chance I ain't got if I'm moot. Or if I commit something, he said, this is a violation I can't forgive you for. But as long as I don't hit those two sedatives, I still got opportunity. I can reset. Okay, that's what people do. That's what people do. Y'all got, how many of y'all got those breakers in your house? What you call them wrong? Those, not circuit breakers. I don't know what, GL5. Your power kick off. You leave it off. If it meant to be off. Think about it. If it cut off, it meant to be off. All you got to do is go and hit the GL5 button. Kick your power right back on. And that's what we got to learn how to do too. Same way we learn how to do stuff in life and natural things, we got to learn how to transfer that over into the Ruach, which is the spiritual. And this is sometimes what stagnates us so bad to where we don't actually get the best performance out of. You'll learn that with tires. You'll get people like, every time I look around, I got to buy some tires. Yeah, the devil messing with me. Or what I can do before I get them tires is get them balanced. Instead of going to my cousin named Chuck and let him just beat them off with a slug hammer and put them on. Go to a reputable place, get them put on, they can get balanced. They ain't get a line up. But instead of that, I'd rather sit here and blame it on everything. Some stuff that's against us is more of our stupidity than it is Satan. Simply because we won't sit and weigh everything. What would the devil get out of weighing my tires out? What can Satan do with my tires? Where is he going to drive my slick tires to? with the man. He won't even ride on it. You know what he say? Man, I put these things here, I must ride the bus here wide open. He not using your tires. But we'll let a lot of things sometimes we build up, and a lot of it just us just moving to being more responsible. Sometimes things happen to us, it ain't always about kata'im, but it moves us to understand sometimes being slothful becomes a problem with him. Y'all got that? Being a procrastinator. That hurts us a lot of times. When Yahuwah Yakra calls, you can't procrastinate. It's time to move for whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing stops. It stops then. Change starts then. And a lot of times you don't make these necessary natural changes you need to do. There's no way you can convert over into Ruach. It just don't convert over. He can't use a slothful man. Y'all say how many times I come here late? He can't use it. What are he going to do with me? I can't sleep all night either. He said all the not being, he said welcome up B time. You had to get up early. Just like Yahushua. Listen, you just finna get spit on. Did I mention I stuck in the side? Stuck in the head. Your mama gone. Somebody else, that's her son now. You ain't even my child. This my son right here. Why you dying? You thirsty? I give you some mud with some dirt and some sour wine in it. Then we railing at you, spitting and hurling insults at you. And as soon as you get down, you think you resting, you gotta get up, baby boy. See, don't nothing change. Don't nothing change because something's at you, something troubling you, you don't feel good, the whole world against you, and your point is. See, he can't use people when that I got to get all this straight before I can do it. I used that for the longest time. Why I ain't make change? I want to get stuff straight before I came. And you know what I did? I procrastinated. I procrastinated. I should have moved sooner. But I followed a pattern somewhat similar like loot. Things were bad, but it wasn't that bad why I need to run off right now. But it said Yahuwah being full of recall. He put his hands on him. While he was lingering, while he was waiting, the book said the Malachim put their hands on him and grabbed him and took him right out the city. That's what it did for me. I'd be lying if I told you I heard and I took off and I started walking. I'd be lying to you if I told you that. I'd be a straight kazal. Yahuwah was recalmed to me. The fact that him being recalmed, listen, he yanked me out of my situation. My situation wasn't all my control. I had a mind to, I wanted to, but I wasn't moving fast enough. And for a lot of us, that's why, you know, when I teach, I understand people at different levels. Being able to go and then how many of y'all procrastinated before you came? That's what we do. We procrastinate. It's the stuff I got to do. It's the stuff I got to change. It's the stuff I'm working on. Then I say, you know what I do? I want to make sure I was right. How many of y'all want to make sure you were right when you came? Get what? And if you've been right, why was you coming? The man said they that are whole don't have no need of physician. I couldn't help you to get him. I'm good. I said, nothing I can do with you. I run a hospital. I run a shelter for people that's sick. I get people well. If you already well, there's nothing I can do for you. But we had to understand that. But see, that part I procrastinate. I just want to make sure I'm fully where I need to be. Of course, there are things that need to be gone. Don't get me wrong with that. But somewhat, while doing it, you'll start to make excuses on, I just want to make sure I'm right. Then I just want to make sure I'm right with him. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I want to make sure I just want to make, and you know this is, I'm killing time. If you can fix yourself, it wouldn't make no sense for you to come. People that come to me can't fix themselves. I couldn't fix myself. Y'all got it? Just being honest. Y'all understand what I'm telling you? Because it's so many different other religions and choices out here. And I'll be honest with y'all. I would tell a person, you know, really consider what you want to do. I'm telling y'all, I've been, unlike everybody else in here, I'm doing what I want to do. I am doing what I want to do. I want to be him. Ain't nothing got to make me calm. I don't need no Malachim to grab me now and be calm and grab me and drag me here. I don't need that. I already know what I got to do. Some of it is conditioning. A lot of it is really understanding where I've been, how long I procrastinated what I've done, how blind, how ignorant, how blundering, stupid I was, and how I shouldn't have made out of a lot of situations. None of them. and yet he did, it allows me to realize I can't afford to be that person again. See, some of you guys can go back and you can do all kind of stuff. It don't matter because, you know, whatever it is, it's an excuse you can use. I know too much. I won't get that opportunity to do what you do and say, what I'm going to say? Well, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm still in the learning process. I'm a babe in Christ. And folks tell you, you're a babe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where these folks get this stuff from. If you are, you should have been desiring a sincere milk so you could grow thereby. That's what a babe do. That's what a babe ain't crying for no steak. Babe crying for milk. Milk is going to be essential to the body so they can grow. Then if you're a babe, then why aren't you trying to get the milk so you can grow thereby? See, every excuse you use, he got all of him logic that's going to shoot you in the foot. If I was you, I wouldn't try it. All right, let's finish this. So we got this endurance, and we talked about Nakum, which is the consolation. All right, and we talked about a reward of the writings.
Might have your call.
Or tikva. That's right, expect to wait. See, unlike some of these people, you can't expect me to wait unless it's something. Something's got to be attacked. How many of y'all remember Publishing Clearinghouse? Y'all remember the commercial? I remember that. Let me ask you, hold on before I get started. Two people didn't answer, two of my enemies. Lancaster 1 and Uncle Teddy 2. Let me tell y'all about the enemy. The haters will peep my part. Y'all didn't raise y'all hand. What y'all got to get public clear the house? Were they gay too? So look here, check this out. Publishing Clearinghouse. Y'all remember that? What they used to tell you to make sure you be doing? That's tight. It's tight. Hey! Apparently none of them seen it. Not Charles. Somebody stuck their head in the door. What were they doing? It's tight. They had you watch your mailbox. It was coming in the mail. And you could be the next publisher house. You could be the next winner. They come to your door and knock. Remember that, folk? Man, you see that commercial? So you want to be that? You looking. You was expecting something. Somebody knocking the door and I ain't expecting about. Could it? Think about it, somebody knocking. Could it? Back then, 25,000. When they wrote it, the numbers were longer. Man, they didn't need $1 million. $25,000. The check be like, all them zeros, you like, man, you get $25,000, you in poverty. But now I'm just saying, but it allowed you to desire something. It gave something because you looked at with $25,000. I could pay all my bills. I can go take my family. I could do $25,000 big back then. You know what I'm saying? Now, one bill is over $25,000. But back then, when that was out back in the 70s, they was showing $25,000 was paying off people's houses. You can't pay none on your house. That's a few house notes. Because you ain't been paying none of them. So anyway, so now you start to look at people were looking, people were expecting. It let you know you didn't have to do nothing to enter. That was even better. So I'm looking for something. Who remember this commercial? Listen, you didn't have to do nothing to enter it. So it's like, this man could come knock on my door. Man, we had no car. I like Ed coming. I said commercial. And them white folk open that door up and it's Ed McMahon on the porch. You like, he show up over here. We're going straight to get a car. I'm going to carry this check for, I'm standing out here and grab, I'm running. We finna be straight. I'm going to teach them how to spin. I was a kid. I know what we need to get first. Let's get a car. We got to go to McDonald's. There's some stuff, because I know they didn't know how to spend that money. I'm going to teach them what we do $25,000. So you had in your mind what you could do with it. That gave you more of that urge, that desire for it to be there because you had a need for it. Y'all got it? But did anybody want that man, Ed McMahon, to come to the house? Anybody? You just look at that man, this will help my family out. Okay. Because you knew what you could do with the reward of it. Why we don't have that anticipation for salvation? What will salvation do for you? It'll heal your body. Every problem, every need, every situation you got could be solved and fixed. When a problem arises, you understand why. It's like I looked at salvation, something coming, then you never got to worry about getting sick. You ain't got to worry about dying. You ain't never got to worry about nothing going wrong. You got to worry about doing nothing to you, nothing hurt you. Then the world can't do you no harm, like the song, devil on your feet. All that when you say, no Satan on the top of your head. You know what I'm saying? Every problem you can find, but you grasp an understanding because of the word, why things happen. When there's a logic to why things happen, that helps me to endure. I know this ain't my end. When I don't know Dave and anything come like the end. I see two guys coming with a gun. What they say? Man, this is the beginning of my future. This is my end. And that's how we fainted, because we didn't see an end. We got to be able to understand when things happen, this is not the deciding factor when things come again, when things happen naturally. And he had to let things happen as natural, because sometimes people get so spiritually high, they don't understand when natural things happen. It's sometimes just to show you where you at, where your stability is. Because a lot of times, our heart is in a lot of kind of things. A lot of us say it's not until you get tested on it. Because I woke up and I checked an account. For whatever reason, it was about 3-something in the morning. And when I popped that thing, Face ID, looked at that thing, I seen it. That thing told me my account, it said N-A. I said, it had round number N-A. No, I'm looking at all the other accounts. I said, I'm flipping through these accounts, looking, I'm saying, what the N-A for this account? This account, Lord. I said, what in the, this, I'm saying N-A. I ain't even wake you up. I said, I'll just die right in the bed. Ain't no need to wake nobody up. She'll find my corpse laying here in the morning. I'm looking at, listen, N-A. There's nothing from my account. It showed me this account, it had N/A, nothing. It had a routing number and a account number, nothing. There was nothing. My other account showing me, I said, oh my God. But you know what I did? I said, you know what? I said, I'll deal with it later in the morning to come up. I said, whatever reason it is, I said, I'm going to deal with it in the morning. I said, I'm not going to let that get me. I said, whatever happened, I said, that's how he see fit. And I just went on, I laid back down. And I ain't worried about that thing. 5 minutes later, I cut it back on. I had to go to sleep. I'm not finna letting that take no control over me. I laid my behind down. I went to sleep. I said, I ain't worried my head about that thing. So if 5 minutes later when I get up, I hit that thing, and there it was. I closed it out and hit it again, and there it was. I said, I appreciate it. Because you know what? Some folks, yeah, you saw them numbers, yeah. You'd had a heart attack. But at the end of the day, I stopped myself, because at the end of the day, I'm better with y'all. You can get things, and he going to try you to see where your heart at. Because a lot of us, it's a lot really push us and throw us out. You'd be surprised, and I need to know where I'm at. You can say where you at until something really happens, you don't know where you at. If somebody come, had they done it? No, that's you talking until it happened. Even Yahushua, he could have said it until he done it. We ain't gonna believe it. I just be honest, we had to see it. Like I said, see and believe it, because you can get that energy from people or listen to enough people swaying you on. You just gotta speak it. You just, when you said it come, that's all garbage, okay? It's all garbage. You're gonna hear that you speak and absolutely nothing happen. Anything and stuff get worse, you need to shut your mouth up. We were talking one day to a guy that he detailed car for. He said, somebody said, he said, my son, he said, my wife, she's a prayer warrior. He said, get sick, anybody get sick. He said, my wife pray for you, hear you right up. He said, I said, somebody, he said, my wife pray for you, man, you be well, you be sick. Man, his son got sick, man, got messed out up with a hospital. I was with Adam, he said, well, your wife ain't praying for you. He said, huh? We said, your wife, the one here, he's sick, he been white cars what, almost a month. Listen, he getting worse and worse. He said, I'm passing out. I can't go out, my legs wobble. I said, what your wife do? But I said, what happened to your wife? He said, yeah, he can't, listen, he done got something, but he can't come outside. But when he told the story, listen, the energy of that story, he said, why? He said, man, folk call his wife, didn't he? He said, why he said, man, he said, my wife, she's so powerful. He said, my wife, she pray for you. He said, man, you be healed up, man. Don't be calling my wife. I said, yeah, I already know this garbage. Listen, he damn near dead. He can't even go outside. Listen, it done went so bad, he can't even go outside. And all I want to know was, what about your wife? The prayer warrior. I'm at it, he will not answer. He's worse and worse. He can't watch one car. He's done. He said, man, I can't even watch no car. He said, I ain't been outside. I said, just tight. Where your wife at? So what happened, and just like it did with Yasharal and everybody else, You'll get tested. Is your confidence in him or is it in people? That's for all of us. You'd be surprised where our confidence can be in our thing. Our confidence can be in our education. Our confidence can be in our relationship. Our comfort can be in our position and all these things. So you have to come and just move us from every one of these situations so we can see where you're at. Everybody got to be tested. And sometimes what we'll take the test is, this is a direct assault against us. I ain't right. It ain't about you not being right, but when things happen, he do want you to consider. It's not that it's katah, but if I don't show you where you're at now, it can go to that point. A lot of people make commitment, they'll run behind people because they never actually sat down to consider or hear for themselves. You need that sometime in order for you to hear, in order for you to see, things have to be moved from around you. Come on, man. You get a man, he facing 30 years. That man got some considering to do. That man got to think about. That 30 years, like, you know how many people be dead by the time he get back out? That's a lot to face and put on your mind. A lot of times it takes that to get people to think, to consider. A lot of us, he put us in different situations, different states, removing people, taking mother, taking wife, taking husband, taking kids, attacking health, whatever it might be, just to get us to consider so you can check yourself to examine and know whether or not. When the book told you to examine yourselves and see where you've been on and off. How many of y'all heard that before? All right, let's do it. How you examine yourself? Huh? The tour. How y'all examine yourself? How you gonna do it? How do you test it? So you make your own test? Well, yeah, who's gonna test you? He gonna test you. He gonna find, just like he did with Abraham. He gonna test you. He gonna prove it. Abraham gave himself his own test. Pick, tell me to offer my only son. No, he ain't gonna get to pick your test. He gonna pick him for you. Those tests gonna come in. All you gotta do is, you should call him. You adore him. Your test coming. How many of y'all school teachers, how many times you let the kids get their own self a test? You already know, what, they gonna fail that? A test they get themselves. You ever done that, Rod? Let the kid pick, you pick it for them. Based on where they at and what they know. You give them a test on stuff they don't know, it's gonna be stuff, huh? You said a retest? A retest? Pre-test, you'll give them stuff that if you're trying to find out where they at. Typically you get them tests on things they know. So it makes sense when who will come back here to mosh pot or judge us, it's gonna be on things, probably a pre-test. It's gonna be stuff we know. Now, whether or not you sat down and you took and you gave heed to it is on you. That's why it's important for us to really sit back when we're listening to think about it. You might be young now, but time gonna overtake you out the wild. You ain't gonna believe it. I used to be young. I used to be a baby. I was an embryo. I came out the womb. I grew and looked like, man, I was never gonna get grown. Then it looked like it ain't gonna ever stop. Like, goodness, I hear grown people say, man, if I could go back, I said to myself, these people must be stupid or something. What in the world? You don't want to tell grown people they're stupid. If I can go back and be your age, you're like, that's about the dumbest thing I ever heard. No, you get a bunch of age on you and gray hair and blindness and start taking about 75 pills for breakfast and another 100 for lunch and 2,000 at night. Yeah, you want to go back because you start to consider. As time has gone on, you see all the things you didn't take hold to and how it could have made a difference on you now. And these are things you miss. If you could go back, you would look at, I wouldn't repeat the same cycle. But these are experiences we go through, so what? We can come back and give them to somebody else and let them know you're not going to be able to go back and fix nothing. Anything you're going to do, you're going to need to do it now while you're able, while he giving you the health and the strength. Sit down and consider, because we all got to go before the mosh pot. Let's look at something right quick. See if that's 18 and 30 of the book of Tahalim. I just been talking and talking, but for a purpose. Halim. They call it Psalms. Let's see something. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Listen.
As for Elohim,
What happened?
his Darak is Talmim.
Well, They say undefiled. And the Greeks agree with using the word perfect. So if it ain't gotten all perfect, it's something without defect or fault anyway. So undefiled will still follow the same protocol for the Dewey Rim, which is the Latin. Listen.
The debar of Yahuwah is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him.
A protector. And for the Greeks declared they were tried in the fire. And the reason why we would look at being tried in the fire, because fire can be used to purify too. What mineral we know that's notorious for being tried in fire? Gold. A lot of people like it. You show people platinum and other stuff be more expensive, you want gold. Because that's what we're familiar with. Gold is what we've heard. Gold is a mineral that we're more common, or more accustomed to. Diamonds and gold pretty much are things we look at and we kind of revere, but there are other emeralds as well that are precious, maybe not to that same amount, but there are some even higher. But anyway, so then he talked about it being tried in the fire. Now, fire, what do we know about fire? Hot. What else? Purify. It what? It can destroy. That's when he come back to burn your rocks up. He's doing two things. He's destroying and he's purifying. That's what he's doing, just like with gold. In order to get it to be pure, that same block of gold goes in whole. He don't take the imperfections off of it and throw it in there. He throws the gold itself into the fire. That's typically how you do it. And all the imperfections break off. So now when we go through different situations and circumstances, what do you think, and when it's intense, you know what I'm saying? It's frustrating, it's wearing, it's long, enduring, it's long, persistent. What do you think it's doing at the same time? That's right, get rid of the imperfections. So once we get understanding, which is the ability, if I don't know that, you know what it is? He's trying to tell me he's going to throw me in hell, as what people call it, which is Sheol. Versus he's taking me through this so I can get rid of the imperfections. And if it wasn't for the situations, a lot of the situations show us the things about us. It does. It ain't always that it's sin. We're talking about being what we call perfect. That means everything's right. For us, we look at simpler as it's just not defiled. When something's not defiled with him, it's perfect. Because that's what I call it. The reason why anything not defiled will be perfect, because he sets the credence for what is defiled. Y'all got it? So if I tell you all of this is defiled, adultery, whoremongering, kazal, lying, homosexuality, stealing, drunkenness, envy, lusting, all of these defile, okay? How about if you don't have any of these things, you will be perfect. Now, the person that's grading you perfect is telling you is the reason why we know it's perfect, because I told you what are all the imperfects. These imperfects keep something from being what I accept. I only accept what's perfect. We said we want Elohim to accept us, right? Hello? I know y'all hearing crime. I'm asking y'all focus. Y'all had to focus on. The imperfections keep you from being acceptable, okay? So if the imperfections keep you from being acceptable, if you don't have the imperfects, that means you're perfect. Because you're complete. The only thing that's keeping you from being complete, the only thing keeping you from being whole are the imperfects. When Yahushua came across a person and he asked them, did they want to be whole? So that meant something kept them from being a whole, which means at that point, if he asked them about being a whole, that meant it was a fraction. Mathematically, it would be a fraction, right? It's not a whole, 2/3, 1/4, right? So it's a fraction, so it's not a whole. I'm trying to keep you from being fragment or being a fraction. I can make you a whole. I can make you a whole. But in order to make you a whole, I have to fix the imperfect, right? Hello? That's what kept it. Why he ain't say you could be whole and still be in your condition? I'm saved, still drunk. No, because I'm trying to bring you from being a fraction to a whole. what you have going on is an imperfect. It's not acceptable. If we can get rid of the imperfect, I set you in a state where he has to accept you. Okay, let's look at something. Okay, let me finish this. So, look at it. As for Elohim, his Darak way is Talmud complete. All right, undefiled. The articles of, which they'll say the words, of Yahuwah are tested. But here they told us where?
In the fire.
In the fire. He said it's been tested in the fire. That's what he did. He said, I tested in the fire. So it's been through. I know it's been, that's how it come out. We know it got in perfection. Just like gold, 24 is hard. You can't get it 20. You can't get 25 carat. You get 24. That's high as it get. You can get 22 carat. You can get 18, 14. You can't get 25 carat. You can get 24. That's the best you can get. If you got 22 carat, it's good. But I've been honest with you, it's some more can come off of that. They hit 24. That's the number. That's it. It's hard to get it to that too. Just like it's hard to get man to get to a perfection. And one part of it, because man ration out the way man see things, he won't accept it to him. 22 good enough. I mean, I'll take 20 to be honest with you. I ain't before off. But when you try to look at what Elohim will accept, he's only accepting perfection. Y'all got it? If y'all want to, y'all can give him a mic so he can be a little louder. Y'all want to give him this one? All right. You got to do that, kind of speed up the motion. So this is what I want y'all to consider. So he been trying to find, he is a protector to all them that you call in, that have an expected weight in him. So when stuff come, I want Elohim to come and save me. How many of y'all in a situation, if something would happen, you would want to be able to seek, you would want Elohim to come, Yahushua to come and deliver you and help you, be a yash to you. Wow. Let me see the hands again. Okay, let me see something. As for Elohim, as for my Elohim, his Darak, his way is Talmud. It's complete undefiled. The oracles, the words of Elohim are tried in the fire. He is a protector of all them that you call Tikva in him. So if you don't get the protection, you need to ask yourself, who you trusting in? Who you waiting on? Because Daoud told you to wait on Yahuwah. And he didn't just tell you that, and told you to be of true courage. Because you have a faint heart of doing it, you're going to turn away. You got to have courage in what you're doing, but you can't have that courage. I wouldn't tell you just have courage without making sure you have some understanding, have the ability to comprehend why. Because that's confidence to people that look. Why would you tell them that? As from Elohim, his way is perfect. It's complete. And to tell you that is to let you know he does what he said he'll do. But if you don't have a relationship with him, if you had actually experienced nothing with him to know that, how would you? Why would you? See, it's all wordplay for us because we hear it, but we hadn't actually been in a situation because as soon as something happens, as soon as I tell him, help, deliver me now, come deliver. So he really hadn't been in a situation where he'd been on a real struggle, look like where you can't get out and he get him out. Where he can get the confidence behind when he tell you, as for Elohim, his way is perfect. How his oracles work, and it's already tried and tested. He's a protector to them that put your call in him. Y'all they had to expect the way. I can only expect to wait on him based upon scenarios and situations that happen that he's delivered people by. That's how valuable the writings are for us. Being able to read them, understand them, okay? Having that ability to do it. Then when situations happen, realize it's not just for me to read to know, but my own life experiences give me encouragement from it. This is the first thing most people experience with Elohim is just through writing, and I tell you, you don't have nothing. If all you got is what's written, you don't have anything. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You have nothing. If all you have is writing, you have nothing. Because those people had writings and they still got cut off. Those people had writings and they died. Not transliterated writings. Not writings that been written by the Latins and by the Greeks. They had the original writings and they still died because you ain't got nothing. They're just words on the page. You can take them same words and put them on any page in any book. Hello? You could try it and put it in the 3 little pigs. Then the wolf try to blow down the brick house? That got that. You put words and put them wherever you want to put them. You ain't got nothing till you get experience. The reading starts us off to get us inquisitive. The writings got me inquisitive, okay? But in me inquiring, I want to get myself into situations. That gave me my stability. See, I can tell you about what's written, and I can tell you what I'm standing on. Okay? I'm only standing on the writing because I got experience. Okay. See right quick, Romans 5:1. I want to make sure we get this. Because that's what a lot of people, you'll get the people walking around, got the book under their hand everywhere they go. Yeah, man, I got my Bible. Where your life at? That's just being, I look at your life experiences. I look at what you're holding to. What you do if you ain't got that book? Because Dawood said he hid it in his law. He might not. Dawood didn't walk around, and we know that the Malach had a copy. But he said he hid it in his law that he might not qatar against him. Why he said the scroll I got, the sefer I got, is what I keep. He said, no, I took that to pay. I hid that in him, in my inward parts. That's what Yahuwah, he thinks somebody got in their inward parts. Anybody can carry them books. Anybody can get a projector. We the only people with a projector. We the only people with a computer. People got that all the time. He knows somebody who can compute it and put it in their logs. Some people who can think on them. Isn't that right? Be able to retrieve information from him. You think the Satan gonna give me a chance to go grab my book and flip to a page? No, son, you gotta be quick. Isn't that right? That's what he told me in the 11th chapter book of Yeshayahu. He said you gotta be a quick understanding. He don't give me no chance to go try to pull up, no, get my phone, get my iPhone, unlock it right quick. Faith resonate and then run right quick, pull up the scripture before I say, pull up before I make you go to Sheol. No. You gotta be operating. Already gotta have, you gotta know. Okay? Let's see what he told. Listen to this now. This is 5:1 of book of Romans. Listen.
Therefore,
I look at this side more. We read this. The King James perversion. I want you to hear the perversion. Come on. Therefore what?
being justified by Amunah,
Oh, Amunah. That one look at. Isn't that right? I said, let me see what Amunah is, please, Beset. Only one here justified by faith is Kevin. Everybody's got to have Amunah. Now everybody can share that one. Everybody can't share faith. Ha ha, Nemo. Amunah. They always gonna use that E. They tell you that the olive makes an E sound. Okay, that should be Katif Sigol. Y'all see that? Y'all been taught that. Y'all got y'all chart. Let me see that. So it's important for you to know how they do certain things. That's how they get us. So when you read like the Hebrew Israelites, the other one, and I was one too, so I ain't criticizing them on that. When we look, we know in the modern script this is the olive, correct? This is the olive. It's the olive. What they do when they use the nakud, which this is vowel points. This helps them to understand. This is what they're saying. Although we're saying the olive, we're saying it makes the sound like in aqua. They're saying when you're pronunciating this word, it actually makes an E sound, seagull. So that E is like the E in the word red. Can y'all say red? Okay, we'll drop the R. So we'll say what word? Ed. So now we'll drop the D. What we'll say? Somebody say Ed. You'll say eh. All right, you'll say eh, right, for the E. Now what they told them, because they use katif. Katif is what you find here. Katif means, this says reduce the E sound. See, they don't even want you to get even just, so how they get us, because people didn't teach us. We didn't know. We didn't know these people use vowels. In school, they taught us a vowel. We never knew these people use this here. So now what they're telling us is that when you're enunciating this word, it's the E, like in the word red, but then you're going to reduce the E sound. So it's not going to be as long as you're trying to make it. That's how they teach themselves. So this is how they manipulate and get past. You'll think you know something, you'll run off into something. I played you again, I throw Katif on it. So Katif kind of enunciated just a little, it doesn't have as long a E as you're trying to make it in E when you're saying it in red. So now, the whole purpose of doing this too, if you think, let me see something. Since we're here, let me get it there. Well, we'll come back to the definite. How about that? Look and see it as 1 Corinthians 14:6. Let me see that's what I want. Then we'll come back in. When I show you the importance of why. What's that, 14:6? Matter of fact, over here, all right, let's see something. Listen.
Now, Akeem, if I come unto you speaking with tongues,
Listen what happened.
what shall I profit you?
Unless,
I shall speak to you either by kazum,
what they're going to call revelation, and right, by vision, or,
by knowledge,
so by information, or
by nabuah,
by telling what they call prophecy, or
by doctrine.
by something taught. You know what I'm saying? He ain't get it because he ain't trying to be saved. He trying to be, everybody ain't got no Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
Now, the folk done can't speak. I said, how many came from tongue-speaking churches? Okay, and what did you get? Let's drop it down a little bit. Let's drop it down again. What he said? Let's kind of drop it down a little bit. But now, Akeem, brethren, if I come to you speaking with tongues, so we got the S on it, so we know it's plural, unless I speak to you either by vision, by telling you something that's coming to happen, or in knowledge, giving you information, or in nabuah, tell you about things coming to pass, or in doctrine, something taught. This is the only way you could get a benefit from tongue. Man, my church folk jump up, they just good church. Spirit was high. So, man, everybody was just speaking tongue. When I tell y'all God was moving, God moved this Sunday. And you know what I'm saying? Moved you more into stupidity. Because this is in their book. And this, the sad part is they'll tell you, when the Spirit get to moving, Spirit don't read no book. You don't either, dummy. Because it can't even make sense. What up? There go that tongue. What you got? And that's what they got. Absolutely not. What the prophet? But he gonna go chill bump ran boss it. Chill bump ran. He gonna tell their friend how to chill. The chill bump though. I don't know what he said. When I tell y'all though, that thing put chill bumps on her. Why? Were you cold? Was you sitting on the air? No, the Spirit would move. We bought into something, and when we read it, you know what people want to do? Read past and go, because you don't want to say and identify. So you know what I look at? So, let me get this straight. You're going to let a man control your Holy Ghost? A man wrote this. A man wrote what you know about speaking tongues. So, in you thinking you're smart, you're actually displaying more of your stupidity. It has an order. It would make sense for all of you to send me somebody. I don't know what you're saying. I'm getting nothing from it. How is that going to draw me to Elohim? Listen. 7.
And even things without Ka'id,
I don't know why we're talking about that, because we're talking about tongue. What? Come on, Lee. This don't make sense.
giving call,
Giving sound.
whether pipe or harp,
What happened?
except they give a distinction in the call, how shall it be known what is piped or harp?
See how he started talking about spiritual. So the first part he was talking about in the 6th verse was spiritual, correct? Because he's talking about tongue. That's ruachne. That's spiritual. Why are we talking about something carnal? See, that's when you know man involved now. He's going carnal. Because he's telling you something that any dummy should know. That there's no way every instrument sound the same. They have a distinction. You can close your eyes. You got any kind of musical sense. You can tell a guitar from a trumpet. And they don't have any life, yet there is a distinction in the sound. What they say, man, I've been with you, man. It was just going. And you can't pick up. It was nothing to Elohim. See, now, to tell you that is to get you to understand something. Let's go back over to what we're looking at now. Why they do what they do. So now, this gives a distinction in the sound. When you thought you was smart, you just looked at Seagull, you didn't realize he told you to reduce it. Because he knew there's a distinction when you're making the enunciation of the word. So they use the vowel points. These vowel points let them know what they need to do. You see right here, the oo, because sometimes if you put this dot and you put it here, then it becomes kolum, which means it's going to be an O sound. See, everything he's doing, they're doing for a reason. So they'll know how to enunciate. They know when they need this, what you call it the oo, they say it makes an O sound sometimes. Depending on when you put it with other words, it changes the sound. Right? Yes, sir. Wow, that's right. You'll put a P. What sound does P make? Puh. Put an H in front of it, it makes a what? Puh. See? They taught you that, didn't they? So our letters can't change. Hello? How they go from puh to puh? That's how they cycle things you don't know. They left you stuck on puh. And that puh. And you keep going down the alphabet, then you're going to learn you. But see, that's how they work. They work to change things. So they know what they're doing. See, shorten. So amunah. And what did the teacher what? Firmness, security, fidelity. That's what they're going to put with faith. Set off with stability. So they start letting you know these are words. I tell you what James do. James will use faithful, faithfully, faithfulness. You see what I'm saying? So it starts out, man, he started letting you know when he running these words, this is how he let himself know what's going on. So he reads it because he done created this. You know one thing, he know 2 things, or 5 things, or 6 things, or 10 things. He can read the King James Version, he still don't get lost. You'll get lost. Because your mom and dad told you this, God's undefilable word. And if I catch you playing, I'll slap the piss at you. He left it like that because I know what he said. Look at, I know what it says. I know when he run these words where he's actually running. We read it, how we knew that? What did it say? What did it say? That's what it meant. That's just being honest. You couldn't obtain a spirit from nothing but the spirit of stupidity. So now we'll come back to understand when we look at things why they do what they do. So we understand now firmness. This gives you, we have this is a firmness that you have about what you're doing. A stability is what you have to attain. So I want to make sure we understand that. Let's look at what he told us in Romans 5:1. See if it makes sense when we read it. How about that? That's 4, 5, and 1. Listen.
Therefore, being justified by amunah,
See that? By what?
we have shalom.
Hold on. By what? Our firmness, our stability. What faith? Being justified by what? Substance things hoped for, evidence of things unseen. Stevie Wonder. That's how you go to church like him. Because he left you. Now, he knows what the actual word is. He knows me. He knows I'm rendering something that this dummy is going to run. You have, what is it? Substance things hoped for, evidence of things unseen. Is that what you just learned? Amunah was their stability, their firmness. Right. He said, now that's how he justified us. You don't justify me by some stuff I ain't seen? And by some kind of substance you saying I'm supposed to have? How I know I got it? I can't see that either. But my stability, that's how I'm justified. By my stability, by my firmness, not being moved, not being shaken. That's going to keep him. Listen, let us have shalom with Elohim because of our firmness and our stability through our Adon, Yahushua HaMashiach. Come on.
By whom also we have access by amunah.
So, that's how we got the access to our stability. Into the con, the favor wherein we stand, and glory kabod in the Yakal or Tikva, which is the expected weight of the kabod of the benin of Elohim, the sons of Elohim. He's saying, by whom also we have access by amunah into the con wherein we stand and rejoice. Shusha would be for joy, in the Yakal Tikva of the kabod of Elohim. So that's what we're looking at, access. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Let me borrow you for a second, Ken. Do me a favor. I want you to walk down this hallway. Walk down here. Go ahead. No. He ain't got no access. But say now, because your stability, your stability, your stability, not move, come on. Then he get access. Because it's unwavering, his stability. It's get him the access through Yahushua. Now the door opens for him, because he's firm about it. He trying to open the door. Ain't gonna open for you, nigga. Get away from this door. Get out of here. And that's the same thing how people got things to happen because of their firmness, their stability, unwavering, unmoving. These are things you have to understand. That's how you got access. Okay. Come on, let's see. Listen, verse 3.
And not only so,
But
we kabod in tribulation also,
knowing
that tribulation worketh patience.
Now that's crazy. You join in tribulation, but let's listen. Listen, and not only so, but we also kabod in tribulation, knowing that tribulation worketh
Patience.
patience. What are we gonna look at? Endurance.
Sir.
Let me get you a question. How you know that if faith is a substance thing, hope for evidence of things unseen? How could you possibly know that? The definition of faith, substance thing, hope for evidence of things unseen. And not only so, but we glory also in tribulations, knowing that you can't know that if you ain't seen it. Because you had joy through faith. Faith is substance thing, hope for evidence of things unseen. So how could you know that? You know how you kind of know that you know? No, I don't. They know this because of their stability that they've gotten and the access. Now they've come to the realization that the tribulation that they got and when they didn't give away because of their firmness and their stability, because of the word, that's why we can glory in it. You ain't glorying when you're going through it. You remember when you heard you was I laughed in the face of danger. That man wasn't no Lion King. His kabod came in after he persevered, after he was unwavering. We learned stability even through him. What you think the purpose will put him on the tube? Put him on something that gave him stability, to hold him. It was firm. What would the people tell him to do? His stability wouldn't let him. He was nailed down. Stability, he was stable. Oh, look at stabilizing. That's why we move. That's why we waver. Because you're not stable. We learned so much from what he did. People just think the man this makes no sense unless you actually done it. Tribulation, sons, S plural, through all these different feats. That's why knowing that tribulation worketh endurance. Listen what has happened.
In endurance, experience.
Oh my goodness. And through the endurance, the trials, oh no, this will read different. Well, okay. They'll be back at 3 again. We saw that. That's why you're in. 4, okay. 4 just reads different here to here. And the patient endurance of the trial and the trial of expected wait. It's saying here, and the patient, which is experience, which is endurance, experience. And the experience running the whole. They just looked at the endurance of the trials, okay? Of the trial and the trial of hope, which put us to where we have an expected wait. That's why I'm not moving if I'm expecting something. Might come down, I got a package supposed to be here at 12 o'clock. He came here trying to get him go somewhere home at 11:30. He told me I need to go with him at 11:30. I'm waiting on that package. And it's one of them you got to sign for. If I don't sign for it, they're going to take it back, and I lost it. I'm not going. So I weigh the value of the package more than I do this conversation he got. That's what it said. If Kata'im is Taishti, I'm waiting on something. But if I don't know what I'm waiting, ain't sure of it, you know what, man? Come on, I'll go with you. It is what it is. And that's why a lot of people lose their opportunity for Yeshua salvation, because they're not really solid on what it is they're waiting on. That's how you get moved to adultery, how you get moved to homosexuality, how you get moved to drunkenness. That's how you get moved to other behaviors that go contrary, that keep you from being tamim, complete. Y'all got it? But when you know what you're waiting on, I can't give in for that. Y'all got it. Let's see what else he told her at 5th verse.
And your call maketh not ashamed.
Confound of not. So that's why I said, whosoever among on Yahushua shall not, which means really he's not going to put you to shame. They'll tell you that, man, what you shame for? No, he's not going to put you to shame. See, that's why when Musha, and to get you to understand how persevering he was about that, how conscious he was of it, that's why Musha was able to get him not to destroy the arm. At that time, he let him know that people watching. If you destroy all the people at one man, he said, then they're going to say you were not able. So he had to look at, I can't have people doing, I can't put these people to shame, because it's not everyone, it's some people that got their calling me. They're expecting to wait. And if I do this, it'll look like I can't do what I said. Hello? That's all he was concerned about. See, like, okay, this is in some, my fear is of letting people down. So I work to make sure I don't. People put their confidence in, because that was something I was big on doing my earlier. Care about none of that's what it is. That's on you shouldn't have done it. But that's something I pride myself on, making sure I come through and people can count on me. And man, I can count on myself. Okay? I learned too, not on just putting, a lot of times people put that, people exist, is other people kind of, I had to learn too, I used to let me down a lot. They had to count on myself. Okay? So I work to make sure I don't let people down when I say I'm going to do something. Okay? Yahuwah's a little different than me. That's one of his concerns, his biggest concern. On top of that, see, unlike me or you, if he lie, he die. He said, I don't exist anymore. Everything I work for, everything I done, it's gone away with. It's got to. So it's a lot more on the table than just, I let you down. You know, I'm sorry. You know what? One thing I got to, I ain't let but one person down. His end don't work. If I let one down, I let all y'all down. Everything scroll up, everything over. I'm out it. That's why it's so important he let everybody know that. And you need to know what it's all contending on for him. It's not just, he can't afford to slip and tell a lie. He can't slip and say, I made a oops. He says, it's got to be right. Because I'm only based on right. That's the only way I exist on right. God, that's why he hate wrong so much, because wrong will stop him from existing. Y'all understand that? If he get wrong, everything over. Everything over. So he can't afford to be wrong. Y'all got what I'm saying? Me, I can afford to be wrong. I'm just a man. You know what I'm saying? People just don't believe me. Maybe they give him another chance. With him, he can't get another chance. It's all one time. Y'all got what I'm saying? So you need to know that he looked at, if you are mine on me, him, he said, I won't make you ashamed. I won't put you to confound. I won't confound you. Sometimes people make you like a fool when you put your confidence in. And they'll give you a good speech of what they'll do and how honest they are, and they'll make a fool out of you. He said, I'm not them. He'll purposely let a man fall that put himself too high, so he let him know, don't ever compare me with him. I can't do what he did. He can lie and get up and cry and start repenting and tell everybody how sorry he is. He said, I can't do it. As soon as I lie, everything roll up, it's over with, including me. He put that much on his word. That's how much he wants to believe on. It's all contingent on his existence. So he's still living. That's why I believe him. And I'll stop once everything scroll up. Everything don't scroll up, I'll still be on money. But I needed to know that he's willing. That folks say, I swear on my grandmama's grave, I lied. What happened to me? Everything on my grandmama's grave. And folks are impressed with that. Man, he put on his grandmama's grave. You talking about my dead grandmama? What my lie got to do with my dead grandmama's grave? You see what I'm saying? Yahuwah said, put it all on myself. Y'all hear it? Everything is on him. I appreciate a man that be willing to do it. Everything is on him in his existence. And everything he did. It's got to scroll up then. It can't scroll up next week, next year, in the mosh pot. It got to stop then. That's why my company is saying, I said, that's a lot to put on it. That's how solid I am. And he don't give you nothing that's riddled and roused that you can't understand, you can't figure. Just like when it came to speaking in tongues, he said, well, let's deal with something you do know. Even things that don't have like percussionary, whether it's pipe, whether it's instrument, other instrument. He said, every one of them are distinct in what they do. I'm distinct in what I do. That's what differentiates me from them. Now, every instrument is going to be different, whether percussion or whether horn. But I'm going to come along. You know what? God, Jesus, Yahushua, they the same thing. He said, that makes sense? The guitar, the drums, and the keyboard, they all the same thing. They all different. They all distinctive. Now they got keyboards where you put all the other, you can play some horns out, but that's not the original intent of how it went. They'll do that so they can try to justify their behavior. They were all set up to do different things, just like each one of us. We were all set to do different things. Hello? And it was so we will understand as much as our bizarre carnal minds, fleshly mind, allow us. So there are a lot of natural carnal connotations we have to use or allegory, so we'll be able to comprehend. Because that hurts us. We really hadn't comprehended this thing to the full matter. Y'all got it. We just run around with faith, which makes no sense. All this is something someone has actually gone through. Okay? And that's what we're trying to set down. We're trying to make sure we apprehend. Y'all got it. Y'all know when the police tell you they apprehended somebody? Typically that's somebody been chasing, trying to get. That's what we're trying to do with the Ruach HaKodah. We're trying to apprehend it. We want to comprehend and we want to apprehend. That makes sense? But you need the ability to do that. You need to understand what state's right, what state's wrong. Before I'm gonna get ready to let y'all go. Give me a minute though. Give me that 17th chapter of the book of Allah HaDabarim they call Deuteronomy. Are y'all getting the understanding? It's important to do it. We don't spend a lot of time wasting time. All aha da barim 17 and 1. Okay. To the left, final left, is the Greek, which is older, Dewey Rim, which is the Latin, King James version. All right, come on.
Thou shalt not zabak unto Yahuwah thy Elohim any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any rosh of favoredness, for that is an abomination unto Yahuwah thy Elohim.
Now, you know what, and you reading that, it made me think about it, consider something different. Yahuwah thy Elohim, when they put Lord in the Old Testament, First Covenant, is believe they did it replace. The Jewish white people believe the name shouldn't be uttered. The only time the name Yahuwah should be uttered was in prayer. They believe that's the only time it should be uttered. So when they came back and people started rescripting, that's how you get these different names. Some of them have Adonai. They put Adonai. They believe Hashem, which is the name. Hashem, which is just saying the name. The name. That's how I say Hashem. Hashem. That means the name. Shem can be anybody because you're saying name. That's all the word is. Shem is name. That does not relate to him because you're saying Shem. This is something other people want to do. We're doing personal. Yahuwah, your Elohim, I didn't know who he is. Okay, Yahuwah, the existing one. First of all, just giving me a name and not embracing all of his abilities don't allow me to really think on who I'm dealing with. I'm thinking I'm just dealing with anybody, something else. I'm dealing with the existing one. And the reason why he would do this, just like the drums or just like the horns, these things are all dead and something. It takes something to make these sound. Yahuwah said, don't take nothing for me. Nobody beat no drum for me. Ain't that right? I'm the existing one. If he's saying he's the existing one, is he saying that is other gods that live too? I'm saying all other gods are dead. If I tell you my name is the existing one, what I'm telling you about every other god? The book declared that all the gods of the nations are idols. But the Yahuwah Elohim said he made the Shamaim. See, just the fact he told his name, existing one, is to tell me, notably, that means all the other Elohims are dead. They don't live. That's why he did so many different feats and acts to prove himself. And then to give them the opportunity, if they be Elohim, mighty ones, then let them produce. Let them tell you of the things that's coming. Let them tell you what happened before. Let them do something. Whether it be Tuba Rosha. But every time he want me to know when I know his name, and you need to know that the existence. I don't want just, Yahuwah is good to know, to say the name, but I need to know a characteristic why. He said, I am the existing one. Hello? What is that, higher? I exist. Ain't that right? He let them know he can't. I exist. And I will always exist. He let them know that first, he let them Yahuwah. He said, that is my Shem alone. I exist. I always will exist. That is my Shem for alone. So you need to know who you're dealing with. And I'm coming to him simply because that is not my testimony. My time is like a vapor of smoke. It's shorted. Okay? Katif is on my kai. It's shorted. It's reduced. Katif today, that's where I am. You didn't know you are Katif. You have been cut short from the time Anashim got here until now. Your time has been reduced. Elohim said, I always live. I live a long. That's all. It don't make sense. I can't do nothing with him. He's gonna be dead, and that's it. He tell me, man, look at him. You can pull out of me and all that, pray me. I've been with you, man. I don't know when I'm gonna get out of him. I'm done. Then all I gotta hear that one conversation. He said, man, I'm telling you, I be scared for my life 2 days. I'm done. He can't help me. That's my state. If me, you can't help me. Y'all understand that? You need to look at why you coming. People, if that's your man, the book says, he that come to Elohim must among that. And that he is a rewarder. That's in the coon to them that do what? Consistently. Consistently seeking him. Okay, let's see. Come on.
If there be found among you within...
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me back up at that 17:1. I'm sorry. Thou shalt not...
Zabak unto Yahuwah thy Elohim any bakar or sheep wherein is blemish or any rosh of favoriness, for that is an abomination unto Yahuwah thy Elohim.
Now you got something you got to consider. Now you got something you got to consider. Two things you got to consider how it worked, just based off the reading. When Yahushua was being chosen to be the one to be crucified, there was someone else there. There was someone else there. And you were clearly told what their charges were. He was accused of sedition, overthrowing government. Overthrowing government. And the people chose, and the other one, they let him go. It was because of this. Thou shalt not slaughter, sacrifice, or murder to the Yahuwah thy Elohim a bakar, which is going to be for the bullock ox, or a sheep in which there is any. That's what I told you about laying aside every weight and the sin. So if you didn't get the blemish, you got anything wrong with you? Anything wrong with you, I can't use you. That's why Yahuwah the one we chose to sacrifice to him, which is the zabak, which means also to murder and to slaughter. What do you do with these animals? People, they slaughter them. They tell you that. That's what they have. They call it the slaughterhouse. Well, Yahuwah said, don't do it to me. Not anything got no blemish or anything. That's why he had to be Talmim. And the only thing that defined him as Talmim was the fact he never deviated from the Torah. That's what made we think perfect. See, he had never, the reason he had nothing wrong, because he followed protocol. The reason why stuff is wrong with you and me, because we break protocol. We find rationale in doing something contrary to and justify. No, him, stability. And through his stability, that gave us access. I can get you into somewhere you can't get yourself. Wake up, Mike, stand up. I can get you into somewhere you can't get yourself into. We couldn't save ourselves, could we? There'd be some people, you say, man, I can't get in. That's I can get you ticket. I can get you in. Come on, I'm telling you with me. That's access. I can get you access granted. So you have to understand, we couldn't do it. Guess what? We had stuff wrong with us. We had blemishes, we had defects, we had faults. Got it? So if there was an animal that they were bringing a sacrifice to Yahuwah, the first thing that the Kohen had to do was to check it to make sure, first of all, if it's something that's just obvious to the eye off the rip. Off the rip, off the eye. So at that point, now I need to examine you. Let me borrow for a second. Might not be something I might see just right off the rip. Let me turn around for a minute. Let me see what you're I slap, let's do it. Just starts, just check him, just making sure ain't nothing wrong with his head. Oh, no. Spit on him, just check out there to make sure. Because we got to offer him up. If I'm a sacrifice offering to you, I got to check it to make sure. With them, they would have checked to make sure one nothing with the, checking going to fit it, make sure nothing wrong. On the animal, you'll rub, you check up on it, see something, go down the leg. That thing start doing nothing, something wrong with that leg. Oh, you going to that hard do that now, something wrong with the leg. Don't let anybody tell you nothing. No, something wrong with it. And don't be behind the leg. Stand to the side. You'll get kicked in the next week. And the week after that one, and the week after that one. So all these things, that's what they had to do. They had to examine him. They took his shoes off, took his sandals off his feet. That's why they stripped him. How you gonna examine somebody? I go to doctor for examination. What you doing? I'm keeping my clothes on. I can't properly examine you. Take your clothes off. Why y'all think they took your clothes off? What we just been told? Who are we giving him as a zabak, as a sacrifice, as a slaughter to? Who were we murdering for? We were doing it for Yahuwah. Well, this is how we knew who to do it to. That's why the Kohan knew. What's that boy? The other boy up here. What's that boy charged? They said, oh, he got sedition. He's a murderer too. Listen, no. Go ahead and let him go. Get him out of the way. That's the one right here. Y'all ask for him. That's the one right here you need to get. That's the one we need to kill. Because this man ain't got nothing on him. Because we doing it to Yahuwah. See, Shaul said the best, being crafty, that's how he got him to do it. Trying to be smart. Professor, they said to be wise, they were fools. But the best decision they could have made. Let him write, and he fit the description. That was the one. See, we'd have done it. Who would have picked? Barabbas, all day long. Murderer, sedition, overthrowing government. He said, I won't take it. And the reason he wouldn't take it because his law. His Torah won't let him. That's not Talmud. That's not what I want. So when Yuchanan seen him, he told her in Yuchanan 129, he said the next day, he said, behold, wow. Why would it be his lamb? That's the one, listen, no blemish, no fault. This the one we're going to give to Elohim. This the one that's going to account for the kata of the alarm, for the world. See, when you start to understand that, you understand his real importance. And a lot of times people don't. That's what hurt us. That's what put us back. Y'all got it? He took man from being a fraction to a whole. Y'all got it? He got a man from being defiled to a Talmud. That's what he did for us. But that's why we don't harbor him the right way, because we really don't understand what he did. We just recite. Like a little kid, give him a play, let him recite it. Study. Say, explain me what you just said. Then go over the speech again. So you just learn how to recite words like people do. Oh, I love him because he good. Because he died, he came, he hang, and he bled. Do you understand what he did? That would show his stability. Him unwavering, not moving. Y'all got it? It plays so many parts for us. Y'all understand? And when we're given the ability to be able to understand, now we can achieve. Y'all got it? That's two.